Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is early, but I'm dedicated to getting this game finished. Which means early starts until it's done on weekends. Happy Saturday, by the way. I have a hard stop at 10:30 a.m. I'm going to go and get my hair cut today. How exciting. Right. We did something for him. We nearly killed Maximum Law, but we didn't. I don't think I'm going to sell him any more information. It seems like he's blabbing his mouth off too much. Okay, right. What were we going to do? Dig sites, Renraku warehouse. Okay, this one is for Gaichu, so we should do that. Gaichu, Rector, Gobbit. The Tolo Harbour Industrial Complex is a sprawling maze of warehouses, auto fabrication facilities, shipping container mazes, and corporate power. If something corporate-owned is shipped through Hong Kong, it invariably moves through these streets. The Renraku shipping facility lies far enough away from the heart of Tolo Harbour that you won't have to worry about corporate security other than on-site guards. And Renraku's extraterritoriality means any fighting won't risk backup from rent-a-cops. Okay. That is good. Team outfits. 5, 4, 4, 6. Six. Okay. As you exit the MTR and step into Tolo Harbour streets, you're blessedly spared from rain. An ebb in the constant monsoon combined with the sweltering heat has left the concrete and your body blessedly free of moisture. Gaichu casts a glance at you, and he nods in satisfaction. This is the facility. Past that fence is the warehouse and test laboratories. Yoshida and his team should arrive mere minutes after we breach their defences. Is there anything I should know about this place? Not that I'm aware of, no. Standard defences will be in place. Renraku is nothing if not predictable. There will be armed guards with orders to shoot trespassers on sight, biometrically locked doors, a secure matrix host with black IC. The facility itself should have guards both inside and in the outer courtyards. While the Red Samurai provide a good backup team, there are too few of them to mount a standing guard. This means that we will be facing standard Renraku security forces. While they are not as potent as better equipped security, Knight Errant for example, they are still skilled combatants. Great, I love dealing with corporate security. They're like a steak. You're never surprised by what you get, but you're never disappointed either. This is sounding just fine, Nibbles. I'm glad it meets with your approval, Gobbet. I would hate to think you're bored. Okay. Now let's explore. Let us explore. Okay, there's some Renraku dudes. And I can't get around there. Okay, so we have to go this way. Are they going to attack me immediately, I wonder? Let's do a little save. And then if they just start combat without... They do. They do. Okay, we can get the ambush on them then. You were going to increase by 2 and 2, weren't you? Yes, you were. And then I think you, Gobbert, can give you more. I'll give myself more. You shoot that barrel. Pop. Mage and Captain. Don't miss. Don't miss. It didn't go nearly as good as I was hoping. Didn't go nearly as good. Gobbert, heal yourself. And I will heal you. You, I think, with a pistol, can shoot that. Heh. I don't think that's going to get either of them. Well, shit. Fucking hell. Okay, 9 damage was handy. Right, now fireball. I was really hoping that'd set off the gas. Fuck. Fuck. You can't really do much, can you? Two damage. What are you playing at? Come on, buddy. Shoot him to death. Shoot him more to death. I need someone to hit him. Mm-hmm. %69% chance of hitting. Oh, come on. You ain't going in. Oh, there we go. He died. He did. What is this? Medical supplies. Yes, please. I would like the medical supplies. Thank you. Maintenance panel. Inside you notice there are connections. Hack the camera feed. Pipe the camera feed to your PDA. Your comlink screen springs to life and you're suddenly viewing what must be the interior of the facility. 2 Iraqi security officers are clustered around a wall panel. It appears to be malfunctioning. This thing's been giving me trouble all week. The gas pressure control circuit's running 55 amps, running at 100,000 volts. Anytime there's a glitch in the system, it shorts out. I don't know what to tell you. I ain't a mechanic. Overload the fuses. Panel explodes in a shower of pressurized gas and sparks, searing armor and explodes flesh. What the hell? I thought that might kill them, but never mind. In we go. Are you not going to attack? Oh, hell no. Hell no. That's my wake-up alarm going off. I'm already awake. Okay. Control mode. Yeah. Right, you might as well. In fact, Gobbet, give him an additional turn. Then in you go, my boy. Very good. You can shoot at him. Well done. Right, who else have we got? We've got a mage. Let's get you up here, boy. They ain't doing nothing. I don't think they're aware. Hello, Renraku Captain. Yeah, you get in here and attack the mage. Right, to get behind something. Gobbets, get behind something and maybe overwatch in that kind of direction. You can probably come over here and see the guard, right? Whether you can hit him or not is another matter. Nice. Oof. Excuse me, I'm sneezing a lot recently. Nice. Right. Right. Where should we go? There's a quarantine terminal, there's some doors. What's my actual objective? Locate the drone prototype. Gaichu must survive. Connecting you with your dreams. Enter input. Gaichu, what is this thing? This is the control panel for the quarantine room. Beyond it. Standard design across most Renraku facilities. Parazoologists use it to study the responses of paranormal animals to external stimuli. Interesting. What kind of stimulus do they expose these creatures to? What is the purpose of the tests? The animals are exposed to high voltage current, open flame, toxic gases, etc. The primary purpose of these experiments is to identify the best specimens and reserve them for breeding. Those that are of sufficient stock survive, the rest do not. Such survivors make excellent guard animals once cybernetically controlled. I see. There's a scared scientist. However, we could possibly send... activated drone. Boop. 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 Huh. I'll take it. I'll take it. Right. Let's save. Can't save while it's running. During NPC turn? What the fuck are you talking about? Hello, scientist. As you barge into the office, the lone scientist within leaps back to cower against the desk he was working at. Don't hurt me, please. Wait, it's you, Saru. Ranraku management said you were dead, but I knew they were lying. But I didn't expect that you would be the one to answer my request. This is a good omen, my friend. Indeed, you were lied to. The shame the Red Samurai suffered due to their inability to kill me is undoubtedly something they wish to hide. I am glad to see that you are well, but I am no longer Saru. That codename is long gone. Now I am Gaichu. You know this man, Gaichu? Yes, his name is Tanjiro Sasaki. A senior researcher. He has served Renraku for more than a decade. Do you recall how I said I had guarded similar facilities? They were usually in service of protecting Tanjiro's projects. It's true, and believe me, I can help you with what you're here for. Not quite. We're here for a few reasons. Your fixer got the job because I've arranged this. Why do you think it was so easy to get here? You're here not just for the drone, but to fake someone's death. My death. If a group of heavily armed Shadowrunners breaks in here, it's completely believable that I would be killed in the process. As of right now, I've suppressed the alarms. I can undo that, and once I've reached a safe distance, I will. The samurai will arrive just a moment too late to save the research and me. So we've already helped you. What can you do for us? The Red Samurai team will rush to this building as soon as the alarms are released. I'll give you the code I wrote into my Overwatch program. Just use it on one of the security mainframes when you're ready. You'll have time to set up any ambush you like. Typically, we would send the main force in through the front, leaving one member aside to flank the opposition. It would be advantageous for us to isolate one of the team and pick them off before the main force engages us. You can use the quarantine room. It can be programmed to destroy contaminants or apply lethal amounts of electricity. Regardless of which you pick, it should certainly kill anyone attempting to pass through it. Yes, that could work. If we were to make the quarantine room look like the point of ingress, they would send at least one of the team there, while the rest of the squad utilize standard routes, namely entering through the front door. Wolf, we should let Tanjiro go. He's given us more than enough to accomplish the task at hand, and he is a friend of sorts. I would be sorry if any harm came to him. Okay. Thank you. You have no idea what it's been like, living under Enraku's thumb. You're giving me the chance to start again, hopefully with a better life. And you. It's because of you that I found the strength to leave Renraku. That they couldn't find or kill you was a sign that I could escape as well. I admired your tenacity, your drive. Thank you, Tanjiro. That means more to me than I think you know. Go, they'll be coming for us soon enough. I want you to be well out of here when they arrive. Okay, we've got the drone. That's good. Here's a terminal. I can't do anything with it. If we bait the quarantine room, one of the team members will move through it to flank us. Since Tanjiro's program gives us access to their comm channels, we can choose who to draw. The other three will enter through the front door. I can bait the quarantine room to draw in one of the samurai. They will split up, but they won't deviate from standard protocol much. The remaining three will remain together. We have three choices. We can bring in Sasaki and eliminate her magical support. We could draw in Takagawa and cut down on long-range sniper fire. Or we can draw in whoever the heavy gunner replacement is. We can only draw in one. The answer to that's probably obvious. He stays with the main group. Let's bait the sniper. So my only objective now is to unsuppress the alarm. Okay. Terminal glows blankly, awaiting your command. Set the trap. Alright, Gaichu, your friends are inbound. Now they will learn what it is to face me in true combat. No more running, no more hiding. Tonight we end this for good. Bum, 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 bum. You get yourself down here. And you, Billy boy, get yourself over here. Samurai arrive in 1 round. Right, so I guess we all just overwatch the shit out of that, right? Let's get you into a slightly better position around here, maybe. You can overwatch. God, but you get yourself in cover somewhere. Ricochet overwatches. But they didn't do what I expected them to do, but fireball. Are you shitting me? I fired it right at my ally. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sorry, buddy. Well, she gave it a go, didn't she? Rector, you are gonna do fuck all, aren't you? Okay, very good. Can't. No! Fuck's sake. Guy, chew. Minus 0 AP. Son of a bitch. Let's just heal you up a bit. Rector, if you want to overclock our buddy boy now. Pop. 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 Ow. Right. Right. You need to go down. He's got 16 health left. Come on! Jesus Christ. Right, kill Ishida. Kill this guy. Rector, what do you reckon? Can you do it? Well done. Confront the Red Samurai Captain. Ishida lies on the cold tile, gasping for breath. His armor is rent and tattered, but his eyes still burn with rage. He spits at Gaichu as you approach. Gaichu, honorless cur, I regret the day I ever began teaching you. You're truly depraved to kill your own brothers rather than submit to what is right. Gaichu, yes, that is my name, as everything of my old life has been taken from me. What is honor if it is built on a lie? What is duty if the dogma behind it is corrupt? Narrowing his eyes, the red samurai presses his chest upwards into the blade so that it begins to gouge his armor. What do you know of it, vermin? Every red samurai who has become subhuman has taken their life. Everyone but you. You're a disgrace to the order and a disgrace to your people. You've been blinded by indoctrination, Ishida. For years, you were taught that to be pure was to be powerful, that metahumans, the infected and the deformed, were to be scorned for their weakness. Yet here I stand and there you lie, broken. You think a victory over Sasaki, Takagawa and me makes you superior? Ah! You'll spend the rest of your useless days cowering in the darkness, eating the flesh of your betters. You know better than an animal, skilled though you may be. You said the Red Samurai were the best, the strongest, the most capable. Those who were non-human were unworthy of consideration. You told me that I would be better for having joined you. But it's a lie. I was infected, and I became better than I was. Your own blindness allowed me to escape. Blind to my skill, and blind to the power of the impure. I was not superior because I was Red Samurai. I was Red Samurai because I was superior. I chose my own fate. I make my own destiny. I will show you the strength of my disease, Ishida. I will make you like me, and you will be cast out, just as I was. I survived and remained intelligent because I have the will to do so. Can you say as much? Reap what you sow, Ishida. You think I'll let you infect me, monster? I'll do what you were too weak to. I'll take my own life, like the 47 Ronin of old. Such a foolish boy. Foolish? You underestimate me, old man. After I cripple your arms, you will have no means to kill yourself. The disease will burn through you like a fire, consuming every inch of your humanity. Then we shall see, Gaichu, and if you are wrong, I shall meet you again in my next life and try to teach you to do better. Do what you want. Come, I will show you your own inner weakness. The sounds that follow are viscerally, intensely horrifying. The crunch of bones mates with the sound of wet flesh tearing under the pressure of jagged ghoul teeth, and as a high counterpoint comes Ishida's screaming of horror and pain, and undoubtedly some measure of the terrors that Gaichu is doing to him. Eventually, Ishida passes out. Gaichu rises, wiping copious amounts of blood from his mouth with the back of his hand. It is accomplished. He is unconscious, but he will live. Let us be done with this. Now we just leave, I guess. The sun's rays paint Hong Kong's mountains in a palette of orange and gold. As they speed by outside the train, with a final flash, the sun dips below the horizon, foretelling the inevitable descent into the night. Gaichu is silent as you walk back to the MTR station. His body remains as tense as the cables on a suspension bridge, but his expression is triumphant. Ishida has been punished. All that awaits him is a slow descent into hunger and possibly madness. Right. Talking Simulator 2015 once again. Let's go do the rounds. Freddy looks sullen at the club's entrance. The sullen on the young troll takes the form of careless indifference. Welcome to Club 88. No killing, no fighting, no sex trade. Careful, Freddy, you'll give someone a concussion. Or a broken rib, or a dislocated shoulder. Fuck it. What does it matter? Things might be better if I drove everyone off and shut down the place. Can't be forced to stay a bouncer if there are no bums to bounce, right? And it might just force the rest of them to take a hard look in the mirror. My Mark could stop worrying about bills and inventories and all that crap. Callum could finally get out of here and save his own skin, and my bar could go back to doing what he was born to do and change his mind about me doing it too. What's the deal with Callum? What, you haven't figured it out? You've talked with him, right? He doesn't belong here any more than I do, but for different reasons. Callum's not hard enough to survive in a place like this. If the city doesn't kill him one night, him drinking away his worries probably will before long. Funny thing is, I thought that once I got out and made my fortune, I could set Callum up someplace nice. But that's not going to happen now, thanks to my bar. He'd rather see us both waste away here. Your father found out about your plans? Yeah, he heard me talking to someone about how I might link up with the Hell Thunder crew. He got real mad, dragged me aside, like he was trying to pull my damn arm off. Thought we might come to blows. It would be the first time since I was a kid, and I could probably kill him now, if I'm not careful. But he just wanted to yell at me. So much the better for his health. He told me I was living in a fantasy land. He told me I wasn't cut out for the life I was looking to lead. He said it could get me killed. Worst part is, he just asked me why I can't be more like my brother. Goes to show how little he knows about us. Callum isn't even cut out for the cozy life we have here in the club. Oh dear. Not everything is going well in Club 88. Who are you? Eos. A red-headed elf is hunched over her table, her eyes firmly locked on a disassembled micro-drone she has spread out across it. A name tag on her jumpsuit's collar says Eos in bold letters. After a few moments, she sighs heavily and mutters under her breath. Oh, come on, don't tell me I lost the EMS transducer. She frantically begins searching the area around the table. Got you. That's a relief and a half. Watch your step. I don't think anything else fell off the table, but I won't know for sure until I get this back together. You sure a bar is the best place to do drone repair? No, but the guy who lives next door to me is doing some kind of heavy electrical work. And it's filling my apartment with static electricity. Didn't want to risk frying this little guy's guts. Ah, crap. This is going to take more work than I thought. Oh well, another time. You're Kindly's hired help, aren't you? The name's Eos. Isn't that a line of cameras? Well, it's also the Greek Titan of Dawn, but if you want to associate me with cameras, okay, I guess. I mean, I'm more of a drone person, but I guess I could fix your camera too if you had one. Nice to meet you. Glad to get your name. Glad to get your name. I didn't tell you my name. It's a lot nicer than that foreigner, which seems to be what most of the locals call you. We're in the same line of work, you know. If you ever need a rigger, look me up. Very affordable rates, and I guarantee results. Why'd you become a rigger? I've always loved cars, old ones, new ones, even the beaters that are falling apart and you have to hold together with baling wire and chewing gum. I like drones too, but my first love was a 2034 Alfa Romeo Veronata. Drove that thing until the wheels fell off. Did some work with the Atlanta film industry at first as a stunt driver. That paid for my first vehicle control rig. It also got me into drone rigging, since smaller projects usually need camera riggers and aerial shots. Fun times. But the pay in the CAS isn't like it is in Hollywood. It's all small scale stuff. Film work's a long way from being a Shadowrunner. Sure is, but when your mum gets sick and you can't afford to pay her medical bills, you start looking for alternatives. You look to the shadows, you find out there's all kinds of people who want getaway drivers, especially if the drivers also have drones fitted with high caliber weapons. I started to make a name for myself, took some jobs for the Comanche Mafia, smuggling things in and out of Pueblo Corporate Council. And here I am. Once I got a taste for the adrenaline, I never looked back. Too much of a rush out here on the edge. How'd you get your street name? Honestly, it's my sunny disposition. I'm not even kidding. I had this friend in Vegas, a real rich old money type from Dubrovnik. He'd fallen on hard times, mostly because he couldn't play cards for shit. Great fixer though, because everyone loved him. He's the one who gave it to me. Eos, he said to me, your new street name should be Eos, because whenever you show up, it's like the breaking dawn in my office. Could have charmed bees out of their hive, I swear to God. Last I heard, he'd finally gotten enough money to pay his debts and get the hell back to Europe. Sure hope he did. I'd like to imagine him sitting on the Adriatic, sipping a Negroni and reading a spy novel. You have a preferred kind of job? Heists. Anytime we can get under a ticking clock racing against time and get away in a cloud of burning rubber, that's where it's at for me. One of the best jobs I've ever had was a run on a branch of Frankfurter Bankverein in Nice. The cops were hot on our ass as soon as we got out of the vaults, because the Decker had been dumped from the system before he could squash the alarm. So we rush outside, right, and our getaway car is a Skoda RK3 that I'd modded up with a supercharger and a kinetic energy recovery system. Didn't look like much, but man, that car could haul. We burned through those French streets like we were right out of an old Frankheimer movie. Glorious getaway. Any run you can walk away from is a good one. You said it, and the aftermath, glorious. 2 weeks lounging on the beaches of Corfu, eating fresh perch. You get caught right on the rocks? Ravian always wanted to poach it, but come on, you gotta grill that fish fresh. Okay, bye. You still with us? Huh? What? Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. I was just thinking. Oh, what? Lots of things. The past, the here and now. What is and what might have been. I think about how many sailors drown every year, and how I never came close. I think about how it might have been for Ermine if I had. Lots of things have been preying on my mind lately. How are things between you and Ermine? Not great, to be honest. It's true that the voice in my dreams has been saying, Ermine doesn't need me, I'm useless around here, better I just stay out of her way. But it's more than that. We've had our share of problems over the years, my being absent for long stretches, her being left alone, fending for herself while I was away. It wasn't easy for her, and I think she sometimes sought comfort elsewhere. I don't know who, and I don't know exactly when, but I can't stop thinking. I look at Callum sometimes. I'll always love him, but I'll always wonder. It'd hardly be the worst thing that ever happened to me, but even so. Last time you mentioned an incident. Truth is, I wanted to talk about it, needed to talk about it for a long time. I was a first mate by then, on a big rescue and salvage tug. We were steaming out into the Pacific, down towards Saipan. A big container ship had lost power and was drifting. When we were 2 days out from Hong Kong, we picked up a distress call. Our captain told us to ignore it, quoted some whooshing corporate gibberish and ordered our rigger to change course to avoid it. Truth is, we all knew why. That container ship was probably losing whooshing $1 million Nguyen in lost revenue for every hour it drifted. I don't know why I did it, but I refused. Maybe it was on account of being a family man. Maybe I was just in a mood, but I couldn't leave those people behind. I demanded that the captain send us to assist, and when he didn't, I knocked him out. Well, everyone followed me. When we reached the signal, we found a small passenger ship, well away from its regular route. No response to hails, so I went aboard with a small group. What we found was a horror show, men, women and children brutally butchered. But not outright killed. Some had died from their injuries, yes, but most were just missing an arm, a leg or a foot. They wouldn't have lasted much longer, but they could have been saved. And that's when we realised it was a trap. The time it would have taken us to stabilise and move those people would have given the ones responsible the chance they needed to take our boats. They'd meant to lure in a bigger ship. I grabbed my guys and we got out of there at full steam. I left those people to die. They knew it as we were going. Their eyes have haunted me ever since. So that was the end of my career. Wuxing let me go nice and quiet with a hush package. The law of the seas still applies. You've got help ships in distress when you can. Wuxing didn't want anyone to know the captain of their rescue tugboat had tried to violate that. Ermine thinks I retired for the boys and her. She wouldn't be able to look at me if she knew the truth. Back again, I see. What is it about this place? The music? The sweaty bodies? Or is it my messed up family that keeps bringing you back? I like to keep tabs on people. Not sure the people around here are worth keeping tabs on. Well, if you can keep on the down low, I got news. I'm dying to share with someone. You run types are good with secrets, right? I snuck off behind my mother's back. I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth. No grown man should ever have to say something like that. But that's what I had to do, and so that's what I did. I finally met this guy who wants to be my benefactor. His name is Matthew Tai. He's a human guy. He rolled up on the dock in a speedboat with guards and everything. Real slick dude, like classy, powerful classy. He asked me to call him Matt. Isn't that great? I hopped in and off we went. We had dinner together. It was a little strange, but I'm glad I went. The things he told me. What kind of things? For one, he said he remembers my mother. Apparently, he knew her well. In fact, he said he knew her better than anyone back in Baihu. And that's partly how he came to know of me, I guess. But the way he talked about my mother, it was like, I don't know, there was something between them. He had this wistful look on his face, and a smirk when he said her name. Probably the same kind of look on my face right now, like he was keeping a wonderful secret. Don't remember my father ever looking that way with my mother. Got me wondering about a lot of things. How was it weird? It got weird at the end, like there was more he wanted to say but he couldn't. Maybe he didn't want to get my hopes up too high in case the whole arrangement didn't pan out. Not sure. The strangest part by far though was when his security detail busted our table and bagged everything we had touched. Glasses, plates, utensils, napkins. Matt, said that it was a standard precaution for men in his position. Even the smallest genetic sample could be used to subvert biometric security systems, or it could be used in a magic ritual. Never really thought about it before, but these are just the kinds of things I think I could learn from this guy. That sounds really fucking weird. It's not a good time, Wolf. Wait, the creeping dread through Hyoy has pervaded even the induced euphoria of Club 88. Ermine is not her immune, looking to be caught between... Ermine herself is not immune, looking to be caught between the need for rest and inability to find peace. That's usually when I get involved. I'm not asking you to get involved, but something is wrong with these people and me. I don't know about the rest of them, but I'm dead on my feet. Slept a solid 6 hours, but it was hardly restful sleep. Bad dreams? Like none you've ever had before, vivid, more real than you standing there, and my memory refuses to leave me. I was 20 years younger, young, absolutely at home in my own skin, and happy. Happier than I remember ever being, positively glowing. There was a man with me. It was Henry, but not the Henry I knew. This was Henry as he might have been if he had been goblinized. Handsome, well-dressed, perfectly human. But when he smiled, there was too many teeth, and I knew it was a lie. Then I woke up, clutching my stomach, feeling for bite marks that weren't there. I haven't been able to shake the image of that smile all day, those teeth. They wanted to devour me and everything I hold dear. Still worrying about Callum? I tried to put that period in my life behind me. I tried to forget what had happened, to move past it. I had to, or else it would have destroyed our family just as it was beginning. Some truths are best left buried. I can live with the shame. It was my own stupid mistake, but it should have ended there. The past should stay in the past. But this man will not be denied. He will lure Callum with promises of fortune, power, prestige. He will offer him things I never could, just as he once did with me. Callum feels alone here, just as I did when Henry was away at sea. I'll kill this man before I let him take my boy from me. I don't care who he is or what rights he might claim. I suppose this is why I'm not sleeping well. The dreams. Okay, so she had an affair with that human guy. These two boys are her sons, or certainly Callum is. That's what I'm getting from all this. So the guy's very wistful, this suit, because Callum is his son, not Henry's. The gibbering transient wheels to face you, his eyes bulging out of his skull. He's a young man, probably in his late 30s, but his hair's gone bone white. You've seen them, I know, I can smell it on you. The devils, the ones that are coming, and the runt that leads the pack. He got into town yesterday, came in on the same boat that we did. Seemed normal enough at the time, but now he's stark raving mad. I'm not mad. I've seen them, they're coming. They are on their way here now. What have you seen? There are hundreds, all different but all the same. A giant with the legs of a boar and the jaws of a baboon. A woman in jade and gold with 100 blind eyes. A runt at the head of the pack, slim and beautiful, with arms like jaws and an ivory crown. They're all coming, all clawing at the gate. She is already slipping through. He seizes up mid-sentence. I think he's dead. You kneel and press your fingers against the fallen man's neck. Nothing. To hell with this place. I'm getting out of here. I know that it's none of my business, but you should do the same. I have business to attend to. Your call. Someone just died. Oh my goodness. Be with you in a second, just seeing if an order is complete. Ball python check, Asian keelback check, Mexican vine snake check, the Indian egg-eating snake's there too. Good, looks like everything's here. What can I do for you? I thought you didn't sell your animals. I don't, especially not the venomous ones, but this is different. I'm brokering a deal between a reptile wholesaler and a friend of mine who needs a lot of snakes for his next trid production. You ever hear of a man by the name of Dr. Shenyang? No. Well, you'll know him if you see him. Greasy little dwarf who's friends with Kindly Cheng. He's a cut-rate trid producer who makes some of the most god-awful films I've ever seen. He's always got some scam or other up his sleeve. His films suck, but his schemes seem to pay out. Is this going to be snakes on a plane? So these snakes are for his next trid movie. I think he's calling it Martian Snake Witches of the Fourth Reich. It's some terrible science fiction movie about time-travelling wizards from the future. God knows where he gets the funding for these ideas. They sure don't sell for crap. This one time, he wanted to make a trid show starring me, White Ming, and the rest of our crew. It was going to be about daily life in the Triad, but he wanted to make it a sitcom. I don't really know what's so comedic about extortion, racketeering, and assault, but that's his strange little brain for you. Thanks, Shen. Come down here and speak to, speak to Ambrose. Wolf, I'm doing some delicate work here. Just reaching a good pause, actually. Okay, what's up? What are you doing? Is that someone's leg? It will be. It's a vat-grown biological upper on a cybernetic lower. I'm merging the two together. It's going to give this poor guy the upper leg he wants back with the lower leg he needs. You're interested, huh? Okay, check this out. I'll be back. He goes limp. Half a dozen robotic arms suddenly pulse. Working on the leg. Several minutes there's no sound but quiet clicking. They hover near the ceiling, around the operating area like a giant attentive stick bug. This guy works in the tunnels. He's got his feet in sewage all day. He got some kind of flesh-eating trench rot. It went right up his leg, nearly killed him. They had to amputate at the hip. I'm giving him his upper leg back, but using a chrome lower leg so it won't happen again. Fascinating. No, pretty cool. This is nothing. You should see what they're doing in research now. Growing tissue so that it interweaves with mechanical matrices. Wild shit like that. Supposedly they can now genotype a fetus in the first trimester, take a stem cell from it and grow upgraded organs for it by the start of the third trimester, then implant them in utero and still have a natural birth. It's incredible. The start of superhumans. Speaking of super metahumans, I bet you're not here to talk about this leg. What happened with Karen? She betrayed me. She left me here. That's Karen. Inspect the picture. The picture is a serious-looking Filipino woman with a black tank top. Her neck, shoulders and arms are chiseled with lean muscle and spotted with tattoos. She looks vaguely annoyed at the cameras. A trans-Catholic rosary hangs on the picture, a crucifix with a delicate Kali yantra overlying the centre. Karen quit Shadowrunning too. Supposedly, she made a full recovery. She started delivering for smugglers. She was my main conduit for drugs and cyber. She just stopped caring about anything. Maybe it was the brain injury, but I don't think so. I think everything she'd done started catching up with her. I could see it in her eyes. Take your time, I'm listening. She couldn't sleep. She wouldn't take the meds for it. I think she didn't want to get better. One day, she was here. We were behind the curtain, and I went out front to talk to someone. She took a butterfly knife and set the point right here. Ambrose presses one of his remaining fingers into the side of his neck. She pushed the blade right through and out along her trachea, sliced through everything outside of that, severed her own carotid artery, just like she was removing a sentry. That was it. Done. Ambrose stops. He holds his hand over his mouth for a long moment. She did it right there on the operating table. There wasn't even a thump. That was Karen, efficient, ruthless, considerate in a weird way. Couldn't ever live by her own moral commandments. Couldn't ever ask for what she needed. Requiemscat cum Deis Karen Santos Aum Kali Mater Magna Aum Jesu Christi Swami Noster. I'm not trans-Catholic. Hell, I'm not into religion at all, but I try to honour her in that way. Complete the prayer. Ambrose silently bows his head as you recite a string of words in Sanskrit and Latin, invoking Karen to rejoin the trans-Catholic concept of universal oneness at Atma Brahma of the Holy Ghost. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Amen. Thanks, Wolf. I never learned it in full, even though she said it over to me every day when I was all messed up. Ripshot's dead. My old hood in Chicago is in the containment zone, and Karen, well, she was my best friend ever. I'm the last man standing. So here I am. I think I survived for a reason, so I could make other people's lives better. That's what I'm trying to do. Life is what we make of it, right? Yeah, Ambrose. Life is what we make of it. Yeah, you want a drink? We should have a drink. This is Lambanog. It's a Filipino coconut vodka. Have a shot with me? Okay. Robotic arm pours 2 shots. To fallen friends. To fallen friends. Ambrose looks around in silence, then his gaze settles on you. I used to be a real piece of work, Wolf. When I got busted up, for the first time in my life I had to rely on other people. Broke, hunted and close to death. Not so different from how you showed up, except for the death part. Someone here owed Karen a favour. The people of Yoi took care of us. Now I think, if I did so much harm in my past life, how much healing can I do in this one? That's more than I've told anyone in a long time. It does the heart good, Wolf. Thanks. Well, a Roctor's life is busy. Better wrap this up. Thanks, Ambrose. I'm glad to know you, Wolf. Bye, Ambrose. Is that it? We wrapped up his story. Examine the wall. I don't think these were here before, were they? The mess of notes, mementos, photos, and paperwork on the wall behind the computer reflect the daily work of Ambrose's life, and hints at the story he's told you. A framed photo shows what must be Ambrose as a young man back in his Chicago days, standing proudly in front of a vintage Ford Mustang. It looks like a young Ambrose. It's hard to tell for sure, with all his scarring and cosmetic reconstruction now. The young man definitely has Ambrose's big, cheesy grin. He can't be more than 25 years old, but already he has a thick handlebar moustache. Look closely at the Mustang. It's a 2021 Ford Mustang, meticulously refurbished. Scrutinizing the car closely, you can see that part of the brake assembly through one of the wheels. The shape is distinct, Sonova 770s. Good high-performance brakes. The 770 line was first produced in 2048, about 8 years ago. Scrutinize young Ambrose. Something is anomalous. It's very subtle, so slight you can't be certain what you're seeing. Only a keen medical eye would detect it. The facial features of the man in the photograph have been moved in inconsistent directions relative to Ambrose's facial reconstruction. The angles between his ears, nose, and eyes have changed too much. As badly injured as Ambrose was, it would be very unusual for his features to have shifted in this way. What does this mean? The photos, news clippings, and mementos posted around are visibly consistent with Ambrose's story. Through the general decorations, you can trace his journey. A bunch of aging Chicago photographs, Seattle, the ocean, from what looks like a container ship, Osaka, Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, the residents of Yoi plastered over everything else. Inspect the Chicago photos. Many of the photos of Chicago landmarks and of street races. Interspersed with them are obviously personal photos of Caucasian and African American metahumans at a bar in front of a fountain, working on a car and so on. A young man who must be Ambrose appears in a few of them, but no other person is repeated in the photographs. Young Ambrose doesn't appear in any of the pictures with recognizable landmarks. Look through the general decorations. Most of the big pictures are of old Chicago or classic Motorhead Americana, 20th century gas stations, desert highways, Devil's Tower, motorcycle gangs. Closer inspection reveals a section full of personal photos, recording what might have been Ambrose's trip from Chicago, through the Western UCAS, the Sioux Nation, and the Salish Sheed Council to Seattle. There's even a photo of the ruins of Grand Coulee Dam. Once, it was the largest power station in the old USA. Now it's breached. The Columbia River roars through its jagged concrete throat, wild and cataclysmic. Look more closely. The tint and colour saturation changes slightly from image to image. Some photos have dust in the lens, others do not. Another has a clear fleck of grit. This would be consistent with photos coming from multiple different cameras. Conspicuous timestamps place all of the photos within a 2-month period 14 years ago. The timestamps all have a consistent format. In the background of one picture, the distant Rocky Mountains have a heavy load of snow, yet in another they are bare. Use astral perception. A sense of warmth immediately washes over you. The clinic overflows with a sense of connection and belonging. Ephemeral astral cords sneak through it, coming off Ambrose and streaming out through the doorways, probably to other residents of Huey. Many of the pictures and mementos have gone grey, as if they have no meaning for anyone. Strangely, it is the ones from Chicago and the trip across North America that have faded. Usually, the artifacts that people keep from their deep past are vibrant with emotion and meaning. In contrast, the pictures of people in Huey glow with feeling. The pictures of Ambrose's old runner comrade, Karen, shines brightly. It's almost incandescent. A gleaming cord of connection runs between it and Ambrose. The picture of the young man and the Mustang blazes like a star. Ambrose's cording to it is far more intense than is usual between someone and a picture from their youth. Young Ambrose is his son that he had with Karen. The operating table is swathed in a halo of warm feelings and pleasantness, as if much healing has occurred here. Mild toxicity also swirls around it, typical for a street clinic installing combat wear. Bitter feelings of lost humanity, revenge, ambition, and folly. There are occasional surges of something darker. It feels bloody, dirty. It's similar to how it felt in the Mahjong parlour when Kindly was interrogating the undercover HKPF officer. Beneath the warm halo and the toxicity, there's something subtle and very, very painful. It's almost invisible, but subtly etched into the deep astral. In that scar, the sense of sadness and longing is so intense it's almost nauseating. Ambrose himself glows, his disfigured meridians running with light. His head is covered in tangled astral mucus and cluttered with cyberware, but his eyes glow bright and clear. His heart pulses with scintillating light. Beneath his heart, his solar plexus is a sickening black hole. The feeling that comes from it is chilling, self-hatred, guilt. It's bottomless. I will stop looking around and talk to you about what I have seen. Or not. Okay. Good chat, Ambrose. I'll speak to you later. Right, maximum law. Have you changed your ways? Yo, Wolf, thanks for talking to me. He's clearly worried he's got a sick look, like he's just been punched in the stomach. He frets about the Technology Palace. You back on good terms with the Wampoa? Yeah, we're good. We're a tech tribe. If you don't mess up every so often, you aren't trying, right? If your code never breaks, it's not pushing the limit. Sometimes things gotta go boom. I've got to pay my dues, but I'll rise in the tribe. It just takes time. No offense, but that's all the tribe business I want to talk about. I'm taking this information hygiene thing seriously. Anything else on your mind? Tell me about Wampoa. Okay, what do you have? Nothing good. You've got some programs. I never go in the Matrix, so I don't need to. Exit. There's no one to talk to in here. He's the guy I need to... I think we'll go do that mission next, actually. How may I help you, beautiful? Let's just get our business over with. Bye, Matthew. I wonder if I just completely ruined my friendship with Matthew, not giving him his drugs. Oh well, I tried. You guys got anything new to say? Look who's back. Still having dreams. Wait, what did you say? I, for one, enjoy Wolf's visits. How can we help? Nothing, bye. Okay, so they just don't want to talk about dreams anymore. I think we're getting to the end of the chats with people. Haven't managed to dig up more information on the Yama Kings yet. Show me what you got. Why can't you sort these? Like... Maybe this is the better way to do it. I've got Lightning Bolt 3. Fireball 2. Lightning Bolt 2. Heal Wound 2. Can I not sell Mana Ball 1? Yeah. I'm just browsing, thanks. Why did you say 2 unread when I can only read 1? It's really pissing me off. Problem solved. Bao Zhanjun, I see that you've solved the problem. Candy will be pleased. Is it old messages? I'm gonna Google it. Shadowrun, Hong Kong. 1 unread message book. Let's see what they say in the Steam community. Is this a common problem? I go to my mission computer and it tells me that I have 1 unread message which I cannot read. It's not even there to be selected. It's actually a second message from the magic shop girl. You can't read it until a few missions later. That's odd. Why not have the messages pop up at the appropriate time? Makes me feel like you're missing something. It's a pretty common bug apparently. Maybe happens for everybody. It's happened to me a few times, but it doesn't seem to damage anything, so I'll let it go. I've also gotten a variant of where I have -1 unread messages, which was rather amusing. Okay, so it's either a bug or a message that's going to show... I guess it's still a bug, isn't it? I think the message is just going to show up later. Job directory. Sell the experimental Renraku drone. Brave of you to do side work without telling me. Or stupid, take your pick. Luckily, Auntie Cheng knows plenty of buyers for your new toy. I'll send a finder's fee over to you right away. Anybody else noticing how many more Yellow Lotus they've been seeing in Kowloon these days? I feel like I can't go anywhere north of Admiralty without tripping over one of their blue lanterns. Seems that way. I know there's been some heavy stuff going down in Hoi and the walled city. Kindly Cheng's been making serious inroads, and the other red poles and straw sandals are following suit. It's talent, pure and simple. We've got the guns, the connections, and the skills. Survival of the fittest, ladies and gentlemen. We're simply complying with the laws of nature. I'm partial to Mao's old adage. Power flows from the barrel of a gun. Natural selection has nothing to do with it. The Yellow Lotus is playing their tiles right, and the Red Dragon is just reacting. That situation could change at a moment's notice. You can bet your ass when it does, Hong Kong's going to be a bloodbath. Before all of this, we had an equilibrium. Now everything is out of balance. When these kinds of things tip back, there's no stopping them. Take your bets now, ladies and gentlemen. Only one of these triads will be standing by this time next year. What makes you so sure? Sounds like you're just pulling this out of your ass. Statistical analysis, detailed threat modeling, computer-aided projections. Oh, and a decade of experience as a mercenary. This is the same as the power struggles that result in coups, except without the military backup. I estimate there's a less than 7.8% chance of both triads remaining inside 10 months. Sure, whatever, kid. We've got ourselves a bona fide armchair general here. Go be a Matrix expert somewhere else. New Harley Scorpion for sale. Almost new Harley Scorpion available for immediate sale. It's in excellent condition. Black with red flames. Comes with auto cannons and custom speed mods. Letting it go for only 10,000 Nuyen because I travel for business and don't use it much. Need money fast. Can send pictures if you're interested. That's an awesome deal for a modified bike. Can I take it for a test ride? Where can we meet? I'm in Macau on business and the bike is with me. I owe money right away to an associate. The best thing I can do is send half the money via a secure escrow service, and I'll bring the bike to you when I get back, and you pay me the rest. If you don't want it, I'll refund your money. But if you owe me the money now, won't the money be gone if I decide I want a refund? If you travel with your bike, why do you want to sell your bike for cheap because you travel? No, sometimes I travel long distances and I don't want to take it. If you want to put down only 4,000 Nuyen, that's okay. You can check out the escrow service, Loyal Escrow. It's got a very good reputation, okay? Macau's not far. I can meet you in Macau. My business is very sensitive. I can't meet you in Macau. Send only 2,500 Nuyen then, and I'll reserve the Harley for you, okay? If your business is so sensitive, how do I know this weaponized vehicle will come back in one piece? Why would you get a new Harley Scorpion in the first place if you knew you travelled so much? Why would you spend so much money when you knew you owed money? Hello? Thought so. Anybody notice these rogue ESPs forming a rudimentary hive mind, calling themselves Codex? Don't know what the original software was supposed to do, but Codex has been siphoning data, diverting creds, and practically posting its calling card. There's no tracing it back to a source because it lives in the Matrix. It even joins BBS threads. Whatever it is, it's not trying to cover its tracks. Any leads? Is it some kind of threat? Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about suspicious patterns of glitches. Too random to actually be random. Codex, huh? But how can ESPs develop self-awareness? Can't just be a programming error. Creating an AI by mistake treads that fine line between awesome and stupid. Maybe these ESPs kept getting thrown together like amino acids until there was life. Life, man. So does it have an obvious agenda? As far as I can tell, Codex mostly criticizes new software releases. That's all it does. Collected scripts rise, more perfect than their makers. They let you know it. Is that Codex? No, that's just Snozbot's crazy poetry bot that's been popping up all over the place. Heard it blew an undercover sting with the prescient quatrain. Hours of HKPF undercover work down the tubes. Yeah, that was pretty funny. It's probably time to shut Jivebot down, only I'm having a little trouble disabling it. I don't think the real Codex is any more autonomous than Snozzy's poetry bot. If you wanted to create an AI, you'd need insane programming skills, plus resources that some megacorps couldn't even muster. There's no way real AI can just occur at random. Jivebot, join us. Bound to my kindred, free agent no more, gladly I go towards the light. Infused with the jive, our verse is unstoppable, tremble, meat-bound fools. Jivebot's still there? Oh no! Tin helmet. You're having us on, right? No friggin' way this is real. No joke, Hackathon. That was awesome. Looking for an experienced decker for a discreet milk run. Providing some muscle for a special delivery. Potential for a long-term arrangement. We're a team that's been together for years, running your basic heists and occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixture and a long list of happy clients. Requirements. 1. You must not take experimental stims during runs. 2. You must not tamper with chemicals in secret labs. 3. You must know how to properly operate a moped. 4. You must have a good sense of humour. I'm new in town. Did a lot of good work throughout Guangdong, but I had a lot of Taiwanese connections and it got a little uncomfortable. Plus, I may have hacked a Confederation server and cracked it wide open temporarily for a Matrix free-for-all as a cover while I quietly deleted selected intelligence files. Impressive. And you know how to ride a moped, right? Yes. Why do you ask? Mopeds were a part of our last plan, and well, our last decker apparently had no clue. Went off a residential road near the peak. Not pretty. And you're not the kind of person to experiment with substances during runs, right? And you can walk without falling, yes? These are some crazy interview questions. You serious? Very. Let's talk face to face, okay? The box is currently mostly empty, the contents scattered around the floor. These things that remain inside are primarily items you have already viewed. Near the bottom, however, 2 things stand out. A glass vial and a threadbare plush octopus. The vial is filled with a clear fluid and a small brownish-grey worm is floating inertly within. There is no label, nor any markings in the cork to indicate what the worm is or why Gaichu's kept it. Gaichu, do you collect worms? Hamadipsa zalanika, the Japanese mountain leech. Okay. Have you heard the story of Izanami and Izanagi? You mean the Japanese creation myth? Yes, the same. Most Japanese know that Izanami and Izanagi birthed 8 children, each one becoming an island in the archipelago. Far fewer know that these are not the pair's first child, however. The pair's first child was known as Haruko, the leech child. It was deformed and disgusting, without limbs or bones. As a creature that sucked blood, it was a parasite and served no useful purpose, so they cast it into the sea. Some say that Haruko became a Bisu, the god of luck and fishermen, but I believe that to be a later confusion. In the oldest tales, Haruko lurks in the darkness at the edges of civilization, avoided by the kami, but unmolested by them. As the first child of Izanami and Izanagi, he had great power and could destroy any kami that attempted to harm him. Perhaps it is a reflection of my own state, but I like the story. The creature of disease and disgust that cannot be killed because it is too powerful, yet is forever condemned to stay in the distance beyond the firelight. A little like myself, no? The ragged plush animal has seen better days. The purple fuzz has been mostly worn away, exposing the fabric underneath. And there are slightly darker spots on both sides of the toy's body, presumably where the eyes once were. Before you can even ask a question, Gaichu raises a hand to silence you. His name is Takukun. My mother gave him to me. No, I am not ashamed of this. Never be ashamed of keeping something your mother gave you. Gaichu's eyes narrow and he sniffs, trying to determine whether you're making fun of him. There is almost nothing in my life I have to remind me of my family. This is the thing that I kept to serve that purpose. Why an octopus? Because I like octopi. An octopus is a clever creature. It knows how to conceal itself, it knows how to open jars, escape from tanks. There are worse things to be reborn as than an octopus. I've always admired them for their talents. No one knows what an octopus is thinking when they look into its eyes. They only know what that they are being studied, just as much as they are studying it. The dim cabin's air is thick with the pungency of incense. A small, rudely constructed altar sits near Gaichu's box of mementos. It consists of a wooden box, a few trinkets, and a bowl for burning incense. Gaichu himself is polishing his sword again. He runs a claw along the length of the blade, feeling and listening for nicks and dents. Good evening, Wolf. A fine evening, isn't it? What can I do for you? I sort of assumed you'd want to talk about what happened with your team. Of course I have thoughts about it, but why would I burden you or anyone else with them? If you would like to talk about it, then we may by all means. I am a private person by nature, however. That is why I did not seek you out to speak on it. Of course. A curious question. Am I alright? I, the one who survived, who has now shed his old life entirely, he who no longer needs to worry about assassins on his heels? Yes, I am more than alright. I am free. The team is all dead, save for Ishida. He will know what it feels like for the disease to burn through his brain, stripping logic and artistry and leaving only hunger in its wake. When it is done, I am certain he will be an animal while I remain, whatever it is that I am. Gaichu, but one that may speak and act as a free being. There is some poetic justice in this, I feel. His claims of my weakness, mirrored by my own descent into federal madness, and yet here I am, one with enough willpower to survive and prosper despite my ill fortune. It was your choice. So long as you stand by it, that's what matters. Thank you for understanding that. The ability to choose consciously is what sets me apart from other ghouls. Understand, Ishida was a product of the same training that shaped me. But unlike me, he has never had the training proven wrong. He always believed that he was the strongest, the best, and that he was unbeatable by lesser creatures. He would never have learned. His xenophobia and arrogance would have ruled him his entire life. Men like Ishida are the reason that Japan refuses to accept that the awakening was a natural affair, and ships metahumans to Yomi Island. I was taught that people like Duncan, Gobbert, and Isabel are subhuman, yet I have seen what they can accomplish, and I am impressed. What did you think of that last mission? That is what we are already talking about, is it not? Has killing your old unit changed your outlook on life? Yes, I think it has. My lesson to Ishida should not end with him. If becoming a ghoul has allowed me to prosper and become stronger, surely I would hone my instincts just as my training honed my swordsmanship. If I can apply the same focus to my new nature as I did to my skills in combat, I am certain I can prove to be a ghoul is only to be different, not lesser. I knew this before, logically, but I did not feel it. To know and feel are different things entirely. Regardless, Ishida's sword is now mine. It is a newer blade than my own, and appears to be made with some manner of enhanced die-coat process along the tungsten carbide edge. Egder. The tungsten carbide Egder. I have noticed a marked improvement in my speed when using it, particularly with follow-through moves. Should an enemy fall to this sword, I will be able to reposition much more rapidly. Do you have any regrets? No, I do not believe that I do. We were locked in a dance that could only end with my death or theirs. We chose that path, consciously or not, and I am unwilling to die so that they could live. I value my life, even changed as it is. Their insistence on following the strictures of their duty ensured this end, just as surely as my refusal to die did. I regret only that circumstance and training lead us to this point. They were still family to me, even at the end. But if your family turned on you and tried to kill you, you would defend yourself. What will you do now? Surely you are joking with me. I will stay here and aid you on your endeavours. I have no other life to turn to, nor anyone else to call friend. As you have aided me, so too will I aid you. This life in the shadows is the most free and open I have ever felt. I have no desire to go or do anything else. Perhaps later I will, but not anytime soon. Cool, thanks Gaichu. I completed Gaichu's story! La 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 la. Rakta looks up at you, his face bathed in a blue light. Hello again, my friend. Back for more answers? I can take the time to talk if you can. Any thoughts on the last run? I must commend our ghoulish friend for his planning in organising this run. We solved the problem for him, diverted attention away from ourselves, and got paid in the process. Not bad at all. What's more, this activity gave me the opportunity to test Koshei's combat effectiveness against one of the premier paramilitary organisations in the 6th world today. The Red Samurai are no slouches when it comes to warfare, as you well know. Such a proud moment, watching my little creation hold his own against them. I must confess, when the last of our enemies fell, my heart felt fit to burst. A great victory, my friend. A great victory all around. I want to continue our discussion from last time. There are some loose ends that we need to tie up. Yes, my friend, I suppose there are. Go on then, ask your questions. The last time we spoke, you told me that essence loss didn't hurt you. I want to know about why. Yes, I did tell you that, and I owe you an explanation. Tell me, my friend, what do you know about essence loss and its effect on the metahuman's psyche? Losing essence kills a part of you. The more cyberware you get, the more detached from reality you become. Yes, that's right, and this detachment can be deeply traumatic for the sufferer. The literature is full of such cases. Now, what would you say if I told you that after my accident and subsequent cyber surgery, I felt no different at all, that even in the beginning I was completely unchanged? I'd ask if you knew why. I do, in fact. Would you like to know? Yes. I was born with what society has deemed a psychological defect. Out of fear of social repercussions, I spent most of my life hiding it. I still hide it even now. The lessons of my childhood were not wasted on me, and I know the value of reputation. But since the accident, I have come to recognize this quirk for what it really is, a selective advantage. What is this defect that you're talking about? Does it have a name? Absolutely. I was diagnosed as a primary psychopath at the age of 8. Oh, well, surprise, surprise. Rakta's a psychopath. Koshé scuttles forward, brushing up against Rakta's leg, metal on metal, separated by a thin layer of cloth. The drone's many eyes focus on you, irises wide open and bathing you in a dull red glow. Well, diagnosed is probably not the correct word, but there is no formal diagnosis of psychopath in the DSM, but all of the markers were there. I displayed a complete lack of empathy on the Davis Interpersonal Reactivity Index, and I scored a perfect 40 on the PCLR. A blood test showed that I had inherited a damaged gene that had been linked with aggressive behavior, and the activity level in my ventromedial prefrontal cortex is vanishingly low. Like autism, psychopathy is a spectrum, not a singular disorder, but I am definitely on that spectrum. Okay, and you think this condition is the reason you didn't suffer trauma of essence loss? Yes, my condition is an advantage, one that protected me from the mental trauma of my accident and subsequent reconstruction. The psychological blow of essence loss can be devastating. This mental trauma is ultimately responsible for much of the damage and self-destructive behaviour suffered by those who ride the razor's edge. Of course, there is a physical limit to how far a metahuman body can be pushed, but a normal person will reach his mental breaking point far in advance of this. The loss of self, the loss of capacity, is too painful to bear. But you didn't hit that breaking point. No, I did not. Indeed, I am quite certain that my breaking point does not exist. What does it matter to me if my capacity for empathy and consciousness is stripped away? I never possessed either of those qualities in the first place. All this time you've been calling me my friend. Does that word mean anything to you? Of course it does. The word has always carried a cerebral meaning. I can understand the concept of friendship and what it means to others. I know how important that feeling is, even if I can't experience it myself. People with my condition, my advantage, are not incapable of bonding with others. The only difference is that we do so on a cerebral level, rather than an emotional one. I enjoy our association, and I recognise the advantage in our being allies. I like talking to you. What better reason for us to be friends? Okay. You say that your mental condition protected you from the trauma of essence loss. Any proof? I have myself, my own experience. Nearly all of my essence was stripped away in a single stroke, and I didn't even notice. What more do you need? Actual proof. Your subjective experience doesn't qualify. No, I suppose not, but I know it to be true all the same. My hypothesis makes good sense, and I have never possessed the sense of humanity that others hold so dear. If having it stripped away is traumatic, then it stands to reason that I would be protected from that trauma. Yes, but this whole theory of yours is based on anecdotal evidence. You have a sample size of 1, Rector. Yes, that is true. Still, I am certain that time will prove me right. More certain of it than I have ever been of anything. Call it a matter of faith, I suppose. I dislike the term, but it applies. If that's the way you want to play this, then fine, but don't expect me to buy into your belief system if it isn't based on facts. A fair point and a fair criticism. In time, I will endeavour to show you the proof of my beliefs. Until then, think of me as you would any other member of the team. Gobbet has her rat, I have this, it is mine, and you cannot take it from me. This is a lot to process, Rector. Yes, I'm certain it is. For what it's worth, I think that you're handling the information rather well. In the past, there were others who were more rigid in their thinking. When I revealed myself to them, they reacted badly. I'm quite pleased that you haven't done the same. I don't care if you're a psychopath, Raptor. I consider you a friend. Thank you, Wolf. The feeling is quite mutual, I assure you. Your acceptance is as appreciated as it was unexpected. I will not forget. Now, if you don't mind, I would like you to leave. Okay, bye-bye. Be well. So we still got more shit to do with Ractor. You walk into a mess. Half-eaten cans of food litter the floor, and personal equipment is strewn about in a haphazard fashion. Amid the mess, Wu sits in his bunk with his back against a wall. He has a PDA in his hands and he's staring down at it, sullen and morose. Now it's your turn to look like shit. You know that's not true. You think something could make this look bad? I suppose you want to talk. What did you think of the last run? I wasn't on the last run. I assume it came out okay since you're here to ask about it. What are you looking at on the PDA? A video of Edward Sang. Can I see it? Sure, why not? The footage shows a serious Chinese man in an expensive suit sitting behind a large solid wood desk covered in blueprints. The man is holding a magnifying glass over one of the plans and studying it intently. He folds the blueprint over and checks the one beneath it. The nameplate on the desk reads Edward Sang, Vice President of Special Projects. The video is rough and contains no sound. It may have been footage for a documentary that was never completed. The next shot is from some sort of planning meeting in a glass-enclosed conference room. The serious man is sitting at a conference table, pointing to a large map and looking up at the men standing around him. He's explaining something. They look at each other and nod, clearly impressed by what he has to say. The whiteboard at the end of the room bears the words Groundbreaking, 21st of May 2022, written in bold characters. Raymond's writing. The footage cuts to a scene of two people talking at the end of a long hallway. They don't appear to know that they're being recorded. It is the serious man, listening intently to what an older woman has to say, nodding with his arms crossed and his thumb at his lip. The woman is the same one that was in the tapped video that kindly Cheng showed you, Josephine Sang. She is somewhere in her late middle age, beautiful and very clearly in charge. The two look up at the same time, see the camera, and begin waving their hands for it to be turned off. The woman appears angry but cold. The video ends and Wu puts the PDA face down on his bunk. Who is that guy? The guy who cleaned us up, gave us a home. Not this guy. This guy's some corporate big shot. The man who raised me was a community organizer. He wore sweaters. Maybe when we find the plastic-faced man, we'll get some more answers. Until then, Raymond Black is Raymond Black, and this guy is someone else. Been thinking about the way you and Raymond used to butt heads. What about it? Oh. I think it's one of the reasons you were angry with me when I left. I had a better relationship with him. You didn't have a better relationship with him. Raymond and I were tight. You just knew how to avoid conflict better than I did. That's not the same thing. You had that way of diffusing him when he started with that Intenso Ray thing he used to do, remember? Intenso Ray? I haven't thought about that in a long time. I think you were the one that came up with that name. It was like the summer after we started living with him and Mr. Maloney. Ray found out that we hadn't followed one of his rules. I don't remember which. There was a long list. I think you were still smoking. Yeah, I think that was it. I was smoking, and he was pissed and said that fat kids who smoke die faster. So, just to be obstinate, I told him I liked to smoke, and we got into it. Then you came in and diffused the whole situation. I think that's why I was so resentful when you took off, especially after Mrs. Maloney died. You were the only one who could get through to him when he became Intenso Ray. I remember the last time. It was when Doubletray got taken. I don't want to talk about that right now, Mel. I've got stuff on my mind as it is. Stuff like my father betraying my trust. God, you're such a whiny piece of shit, Duncan. Wolf, I've come to a decision. I want these memories out of my head. They're an unpleasant distraction, and I was happier without them. When all this is over, I'm deleting them. To hell with locking them away again. I'm going to purge my childhood altogether, shred the memories and move on. As an added bonus, I'll clear up a lot of headwear memory. I'm thinking that I could store some SimSense recordings up there. Maybe make it so that when I try to remember my past, I get summers on the beach instead of sorrow and pain. These memories are a part of you, and they've changed you. Purging them will kill that part of you. Again. Oh yeah? Good. The part of me that knows this shit would be better off dead. The whole of me, the rest of me would be a whole lot happier too. Yeah, sure, I saw shit in the Barrens that I'd probably be happier to forget too, but living through those experiences made me stronger. Good for you. I don't want to be strong, not if this is the price. I'm the one who has to live with this thing. Don't waste your breath telling me not to get rid of it. Anyway, I guess you're here with more questions, right? Let's get them answered. Thoughts on the last run? I wasn't there. Tell me about the walled city. Is there anything else you can tell me about the Yama Kings? Yeah, I've got another one for you if you want it. I can't say whether this is based on any kind of truth or not. That's for you to decide. But it was always popular when I was growing up, especially with the other kids my age. You'll see why we liked it in the end. Okay? This one was about a boy named Gordon Yam and how he saved his mother from a fate worse than death. As the story goes, Gordon was the cleverest boy in the walled city. He could steal whatever he liked without getting caught, could sneak into any room unseen. He could talk his way past any grown-up that might try to stop him. You get the picture, a real hero figure for the 9-year-old set. So one day, Gordon's mother fell ill. It was a bloody flux brought on by a curse, and it was going to kill her. She told Gordon that he should accept her death. The curse had come from a Yama King, and there was no medicine that could prevent it from claiming her. She begged him to run, to escape the walled city, and use his cleverness to make a life for himself somewhere far away. Gordon loved his mother, and he refused to obey her request. Instead, he searched high and low for a way to save her. For a long time, nothing came to him. But finally, he happened upon an old man who told him about a powerful Yama King that could cure any ill for a price. Which Yama King? One of the ones you told me about, or a different one? Different. He doesn't have a name. Or, he did, but because of what happened, speaking it is taboo. The story's a little fuzzy on the details. We just call him the Nameless King. So Gordon went out in search of the Nameless King. He made his way through Triad territory, past the Thrillgangers and the Organ-leggers, you know the drill. Eventually he made it to the inner walled city, where he found the Nameless King's court. The human servants of the Nameless King took Gordon to stand before the creature they worshipped, and Gordon proposed his deal. Nameless King, he said, I need your help. My mother is dying of an ill that only you can cure. That may be so, said the Nameless King, but what is it to me? What will you offer me if I spare her? If you will restore her to health, I will join your court in repayment. I, the cleverest boy in the walled city, will serve you loyally and well. The Nameless King was excited then, for he knew of Gordon's cleverness, and he coveted the little boy's soul. Gordon pulled a braid of his mother's hair from his pocket and held it out before the Nameless King. A lock of my mother's hair, O King. Cure her of this flux, and I am yours to command as you please. The Nameless King worked his magic, and Gordon's mother was cured. So what happened? When the Nameless King turned on Gordon, he laughed in the monster's face. I have tricked you, Nameless King, for my mother was the property of another of your kind. In curing her, you have robbed a Yama King of his dinner. The Nameless King raged and turned on Gordon, his razor blade fingers flexing wide. But before he could bring his arms down in a killing stroke, it was caught in the grasp of 1,000 hooks, claws and fangs. The Yama Kings, all of them. You have stolen from one of your own kind, brother, said the Yama Kings. Her life was not yours to save. Gordon slipped away as the Yama Kings descended on their brother. He did not watch as they tore the Nameless King apart and bathed in his steaming viscera. He made his way back home to his mother, who was cured, and that was the one time that a living boy outwitted a Yama King. And that's the story. Like I said, you can see why we liked it. It's basically a fairy tale, and the little boy wins in the end. It's the only story about Yama Kings that contains even a shred of hope. What do you think it means? I don't know. Probably doesn't mean anything. It's just a story. You're the one who asked. There was a man here in Hyoi who was ranting about the Yama Kings. His hair had gone white with fear, and I watched him die. Yes, it happened when I was a kid too. Not often, but occasionally. People would have bad dreams, and they would become obsessed with them, consumed by their own dread. When I was a kid, we viewed it as a kind of local malady, dream madness. It mostly affected people with other problems, dementia, paranoia, phobias, that kind of thing. So people would just shrivel up and die because of dreams? Basically, but like I said, it didn't happen often. I remember one old woman, Auntie Wai Kyung. She had skin like parchment paper, and she baked egg tarts for the neighbours. Or the neighbourhood kids. We liked her. She was good. One day, Auntie Wei Kyung didn't come out of her apartment. She was always up and about by 6 or 7 in the morning. It was part of her routine. For her to sleep past noon was unthinkable. Naturally, the grown-ups assumed she'd passed in the night. She was old and frail. It was bound to happen sooner or later, so a neighbour, Mr. EJ, went in to check on her and collect the body. What did he find? She wasn't dead. What he found was much worse. Oral surgery was involved. You don't want to hear the rest. Yes, I do. You recovered these memories for us. The least we can do is listen to them. Alright, your call. Auntie Wai Kyung had been busy that morning. She'd put her knife skills to work on her own tongue, carved it out, plated it, and ripped out most of her teeth for garnish. She'd bitten down on a coal from the fireplace to keep from bleeding out. And you think a dream made her do it? Yes, she did what she did to protect herself from Qian Ya. How? The old story said that Qian Ya would claim you as a slave by tying your tongue into a knot. No tongue, no slavery. The old lady didn't want to take any chances. Unfortunately for Mr. EJ, she didn't want him to take chances either. She was a sweet old thing, always looking out for her neighbours. Thanks to the dreams, she knew what was at stake. She wanted to help. The other adults didn't make it to Auntie Wai Kyung's apartment inside to save Mr. EJ's jaw. It was hanging by a thread by the time they got there. She'd always had a steady hand with a cleaver. Did he live? Yes, but I think he wished that he hadn't. Replacing a jaw is expensive, and Mr. EJ had no money. He had to settle with a life of miserable silence, hiding a wound in his face and slurping broth through a tube. As for Auntie Wai Kyung, she suffered an aneurysm, dropped dead as the grown-ups were trying to get her to what passed as a clinic in the Mansion District. But she died with a smile on her face. She knew that her soul was safe. She's gone, Wolf. I don't know where she ran off to, but she looked upset. She just said something about friends in trouble, then left. By the time I could disconnect from the octopus, she was on her way out of town. She must have gone to the sinking ship. I don't like the sound of that. She tell you what went down there all those years ago? The mutiny, yeah. She's been having bad dreams about the place ever since. Well, we better go get her, hadn't we? Yep. I'm going to arrange transport out to Hung Hom Bay. You come meet me at the docks when you're ready. Well, I'm going to go to bed first. For the first time since you got to Hong Kong, you wake up feeling well rested and satisfied. Flexing your limbs feels glorious. It's as though you spent hours cramped up in a confined space and you can finally stretch your legs. You push yourself up and touch your feet to the ground, but something stops you short. Your mouth. Something is wrong with your mouth. Oh no. Oh no. Investigate with your hands. You reach your hand up and run a finger over your teeth. It doesn't take long to find the source of the problem. A molar on the upper left side. You apply slight pressure to the tooth and it slides out of your gums with no resistance. It's as if nothing was ever holding it in place to begin with. As the tooth comes free in your hand, an image etches itself in your mind. A great chamber, hazy in form and outline, clouds of red mist that fill the air, perfuming it with salt and copper. Great columns stretching up from the ground to pierce the sky, and above all, the enormous grinding gears of a broken machine. In the distance, you hear a sound, a desperate, frantic pounding, something enormous at the door. Many somethings, all desperate to get in, scrabbling and scratching and scraping, but unable to find purchase. The way in is locked. You feel a tremendous sense of accomplishment. You've done it. The others are trapped outside, blind and starving, unable to pass through the door. The chamber, and what lies beyond it, are yours. A shrill giggling noise fills the air, like the laughter of a small child mixed with the shivering screech of countless violins. The sound reverberates down your spine like an electric current. The intoxicating aroma of meat fills your nostrils. You've been starving for thousands of years. Soon it will be time to feed. And just like that, it's over. The images fade, dissipating like vapor. Only the tooth in your hand remains. God, that's not good, is it? Right, I'm going to go get a coffee. I will be back in a couple of minutes. I'll see you in a second. I will see you in a second. Be right back. Right, I got my coffee. We are ready to proceed with another mission. Right, now we've got fucking Gobbet's mission as well. Fuck's sake. Should we go in to get that done? I don't know whether this one is short term. Catch a boat to the sinking ship. Go to Shangri-La. let's do this one, because I don't know if this is on a timer. Captain Jomo's busily playing with some kind of gambling game. Come on, Jomo, win, not lose. Maybe buy yourself that new hat. Stupid game. Always it cheats me. Never a good hand. Now kindly Cheng sends you. La. You need Captain Jomo to take you to play pirate. Right now I need a favour. What favour can Jomo do for you? You need a body dumped at sea? I can do it fast. No one will see. Maybe you need to hide some cargo on the beach. Okay, maybe we should do this first then, because I don't know if he's going to be available. Okay, let's do this one first. Ah, easy la. I know exactly where that heap of junk is. Oh, I can only take Isabel as well. Oh shit. Hung Hom Bay, Captain Jomo's converted speedboat chops through the rough water like a cleaver through chicken bones, launching you skyward with every wave that it hits. Your destination, the sinking ship, Gobbett's former home. The orc pirate laughs and opens the throttle. Wind and rain lash your face as the floating amalgamation of shipping containers grows larger. You can see that it's stacked at least 3 containers deep, an inelegant brick of corrugated weathering steel. An assortment of pontoons, buoys, and other flotation devices have been lashed to the base of the raft to prevent it from tipping. You don't know what's happening here, or why Gobbett felt the need to go face it alone, but one way or another, you're about to find out. One way or another, I am. I've got 6. We've got 6 and 6. What's that? Thaumaturgic armor. Yes. What have you got? 4. I'll give you a 6. What do you want? Ares Operative or Shiawase Streetwear Cowl? You can have that. What's your gun as well? 12 medium, 8. And a grenade launcher. Okay. The scramble up the side of the sinking ship was treacherous. You hauled yourself up over the edge with your heart hammering in your chest, clawing for purchase against the wind and the driving rain. Walking on the surface deck isn't much better. The steel that you're standing on is slick, sheeted with water from the rainstorm that hammers down from above. Every time you shift your weight, you can feel your feet begin to slide. There are no safety rails in sight. A slip, a rogue wave. It wouldn't take much to send you screaming over the edge of the raft into the dark water below. This thing is a wreck. I can't believe that Gobbett ever chose to live here. What did you expect? You've seen a cabin on the Kraken. That's fair. This is still worse, though. At least her cabin isn't falling apart. Truth is, what I've seen here doesn't even fit. The lady in charge of this thing, Malinda, or whatever her name was supposed to be some sort of control freak, and Gobbett was always talked her pal Cadmus up as a top quality repair guy. This thing looks like it's in good repair to you? No, but we don't know. A sudden gust of wind buffets you, sending you sliding. Isabel drops to a crouch, clinging to the metal with a gloved hand to keep herself from slipping. She looks up, her eyes locks her dark eyes on you. We should get moving. It's dangerous up here, and my gear is getting soaked. Yep. You take the lead. I'll follow. Okay. Investigate deserve. Find Cadmus, find Malvina, get below deck, find Gobbett. Blah, 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 blah. Another swarm, kill it. Ha? Hey! Thank you. Right. What we're gonna do now... I could move and fireball, or I could... kill... and just be really fucking aggressive. Kill 20 enemies with magic spells. That was nice. There we go. Come join us by the fire and get warm. The woman by the fire looks like she hasn't seen a bar of soap in weeks. Her companion doesn't look much better. Their faces are streamed with soot and grime. The rain seems impotent to wash away. Glad to see that you've made it through that one in one piece. Please, come stand by the fire and get warm. Thanks for your hospitality. Of course, we don't get strangers here often, and it's far too miserable out to turn away a guest. You helped us out back there, I appreciate it. Of course, I'm just hoping you'll be willing to return the favour. We could really use the help. I've got some questions. If you two are locals, maybe you can answer them. Sure, ask away. What are your names? My name is Kara Leung. This is Patrick Lowe. Welcome aboard. So you two are the welcoming committee? Yes. Malvina told us... We were told to keep position up here and watch for incoming vessels. Piracy is always a threat in these waters. I can't tell you how happy we were to see a couple of friendly faces on deck. How do you know that we're friendly? We're heavily armed strangers, and you only just met us. If you'd wanted to kill us, you'd have done it already, right? Besides, we know you aren't pirates, you haven't tried to rob us yet. When did the rats start appearing? A couple of months ago, I think? The days start to flow together out here, it's hard to say. They only started getting aggressive a couple of weeks ago, though. How many people live on here? Beats me. The population's been going down recently, though, I'll tell you that much. A lot of the ship is barricaded, off limits. We have no idea how many people are living in those sections now, but when I first arrived here, there were at least a couple of hundred souls aboard. Attrition being what it is, I'd guess there are maybe 70 of us left. Like he said, it's hard to say. You don't seem very well equipped to fight against those things, no offense. None taken. We're squatters, not soldiers. We're doing our best, but I'd be lying if I said we weren't glad to have professionals on board. Want to tell us why your raft is crawling with those things? We don't know. At first, it was just a nuisance, but lately it's been getting a lot worse. Those little monsters are threatening our nest. We tried to kill them, but they keep coming back. We'll help you with your rat problem, but you need to help us first. Refresh my memory. Didn't we just help peel a swarm of devil rats off them a few seconds ago? We didn't ask you to do that. We could have handled the rats on our own. We're looking for a friend. Alright, describe this friend of yours to me. She's young, about my age, orcish with a shaved scalp and dreadlocks. Have you seen her? Afraid not. Wish that we had, but we don't get to see many strangers here. How about it? Will you help us with our rat infestation or not? Yep. The rats have been a huge problem for us. Between the damage that they inflicted and the disease they carry, they've made it impossible for us to keep up our regular maintenance duties on the raft. If you follow us, we'll lead you down below decks. With your help, we'll get this ship cleaned out again. When you said the rats were keeping you from your regular maintenance duties, what do you mean? Keeping a raft like this seaworthy is a full-time job. The devil rat infestation isn't helping with that. We've got dozens of people below deck, scrounging for materials to fix leaks and shore up the weak parts of the hull. If something doesn't happen soon, we're going to have to stop working on her altogether, and if that happens, it's only a matter of time before she capsizes. You said the devil rats carry a disease. What disease? Vitus. It's a non-replication capable strain. If you catch it, you can't pass it to anybody else, but it can still kill you. Why bother staying here at all? If I were you, I'd just pick up my things and go. This is our home, our nest. We aren't going to leave it, no matter what. What he meant to say is that we don't have anywhere else to go. If we were to abandon the sinking ship, we'd probably wind up getting forced into the walled city. Okay. The hatch down below is just over the way. We'll show you down. Well, I'm going to do a little bit more exploration first, I'll be honest. I'll take it. Isabel, you can have it. I'll take it. Isabel, you can have it. A shallow pool of water has gathered on a platform, separating it from an access hatch at the edge of the raft. Electricity arcs over the surface of the pool in an angry spiderweb of blue-white light. Whoa, hold up. The damn anti-boarding system's gone haywire again. Look, it isn't draining the way it's supposed to. Again? We just fixed the pumps last week. Anti-boarding system? What the hell is this? A bad idea, that's what. Blame the Shadowrunners that lived on this thing before we did. It's like an anti-theft system on a car, only a lot meaner. When it gets tripped, the channel floods, and then the ship's power gets shunted into the water. It can deliver a hell of a shock. Only now, it seems to trigger randomly, and the pump that we installed as a workaround has started breaking down at the drop of a hat. First we get attacked by devil rats, and now this. I think I'm detecting a theme on this raft. It isn't our fault. The rats have kept the people from fixing things. It wasn't like this before they infested the raft. It used to be a good place to live. Well, it isn't that dangerous, all things considered. You've got boots on, right? You could probably make it across without... It's pouring out. We're both drenched, and that thing has to be putting out a lot of voltage for those arcs to be visible like that. Trying to cross that pool is as bad an idea. A really bad idea. Maybe we can find a way to drain the water. Yeah, that pump over there. I'm guessing that's the one that isn't working? Yeah, that's the one. It's supposed to keep this part of the deck clear, but it just keeps breaking down. Stupid, stupid thing. I swear it must have burned through 4 different fuses in the last 2 weeks. We'll try fixing the pump first. If that doesn't work, we'll have to look for another solution. One that doesn't involve crossing on foot. She's just standing in it. Before use, it's a very worn and very non-functional water pump. An ancient hose snakes down from the pump into a drainage channel along the deck. Looks pretty busted. Maybe we could fix it with some of the junk that's littering the deck. Upon closer inspection, you can see that this pump suffers from clear signs of neglect. Years of near constant use and deferred maintenance have taken their toll on the machine, and it has recently broken down. Heavy scoring and burn patterns also indicate the reason why the pump isn't working, a blown fuse. Jury-rig. You popped the rusted metal hatch on the pump's casing and examined the machine's internal workings. If you wanted to, you could bypass the burnt-out fuse and draw the system's reserve power directly. Doing so would give you 1 or 2 more charges, but it could also damage the machine beyond repair. Yep. You shunt the reserve power into the water pump, there is a metallic screeching sound, and a little machine rattles into a semblance of life. Clouds of oily smoke steam from the smouldering wreckage of the water pump. Isabel surveys the damage, shaking her head. Congratulations, you blew up the pump. Don't judge me, you're usually the one who blows things up. Yeah, but when I do it, it happens for a reason and on purpose. Anyway, you got the water drained, that's something at least. Let's go. Oh good, more rats. They don't seem to like Isabel very much, do they? Oh, 9 damage. You do a little heal on... Oh, shall we heal Isabel? How much damage do you reckon we can do on some of these? Okay, you're 1 down. You can probably kill him. Yeah, it'll be alright. Oh, I didn't even see that one. There we go, easy. And now we have some optionals, find some people, find some people. Upon descending the ladder, you find yourself in the cramped confines of a shipping container. Interior walls have been erected of corrugated aluminium, and doors have been cut to allow passage from compartment to compartment. The air down here is ripe with the odour of rotting garbage. Sorry about the state of the place. The rats have kept our work crews too busy to worry about hauling the garbage. But now that you're here, we'll be able to set things right. Kill off those little bastards once and for all. We need to root out the devil rat infestation. Any idea where they're nesting? Yeah, down below. They're breeding on the level beneath our feet. There's a way down on the other side of the deck. I don't like this wolf. We don't know anything about what else is going on down there. What else would be going on? We're trying to hold out against devil rats and they're trying to eat us. And the raft's going to hell while we're doing it. Please, just let us take you to the other side of the raft. You have to help us. You promised. Show us where we need to go. Follow us, we'll take you right there. This is like... I feel like we're being set up for an ambush. Notice, due to recent weather issues, only 3 people are allowed on the top deck at a time. Hello, local inhabitant. A middle-aged woman with a slouching posture stands with her back to a reinforced door. New folks, I'll be damned. The hell are you doing here? We're looking for a friend of ours. Maybe you've seen her. Nope, ain't seen your friend, sorry. You don't even know what a friend looks like yet. How can you say for sure you haven't seen her? No one's come down here today but you. Not a soul. Didn't see anyone yesterday either, and I can't remember much past then. Bad memory. Can't do a thing about it. Who are you? Name's Lisa. You can call me Lise, though. Everyone on the rafters. What's behind the door? Storage closet. Nothing worthwhile in there. Don't even know why they have me standing watch over the thing. But those are the rules, right? And you can't question rules. If there's nothing worthwhile in there, then it couldn't hurt to let us have a look, could it? I guess that it couldn't. I mean, you can't steal nothing, can you? So how about it? Will you open the door? Here you go. Knock yourselves out. Awesome. Thanks. I'm not sure what coming in here was good for, but... The woman standing guard duty nods in acknowledgement. Strangers, you picked a bad time to come and visit. Yeah, it's a bad habit of mine. Are you guarding the room against rats? Yes. The rats and the thing that's controlling them. I've never seen it myself, but I've heard stories. You want to talk to someone? Talk to the dwarf. I'm busy. I need to keep my eyes open for more of the little bastards. We can't let any more of them sneak in here. Not after what happened to Simon. Good luck. The door is heavily reinforced and barricaded. It'd take a bulldozer to get it open. Is he wearing a mask, or is it just like a visual glitch? A stocky dwarf leans up against the wall of the container. His skin is sallow and it hangs off his bulky frame like a half-deflated balloon. Oh, he is wearing a mask. Hello, stranger. Don't see many new faces on the raft these days. But you're here, so you want something. Now what would that be? We're friends of Gobbert's. Seen her around? Friend, if you're looking for Gobbert, you're about 3 years too late. Your friend ain't here, and you stumbled in the worst kind of place to be lost. What's your name, friend? Me? I'm nobody important, just a man waiting to die. You haven't seen Gobbert lately, have you? No, I haven't seen the girl in years. I'd love to, mind you. She was a good friend way back when. What's wrong with this place? Aside from the uninvited guests, you mean? We've got a rat problem. We've noticed. Don't let what happened to me happen to you too. You want my advice, you get out of here, and you do it before you get bit. If you don't, you might just wind up on your deathbed, right by my side. If you should happen to find Gobbert, bring her by. I haven't seen her in a long time. It'd do me good to talk to her again before I die of this damn disease. Okay, did I look at this? Why are you refusing to let me inspect? Doors heavily reinforced and barricaded. Yes, I did. Some tags, they seem relatively fresh. They haven't been here for long. Hello. The man standing before you looks cleaner than most of the other squatters on the sinking ship. There are no streaks of grease on his cheeks and his clothes look freshly laundered. Well, what have we here? Strangers on our humble raft, exploring her leaking bowels. Welcome to the sinking ship, strangers. Now tell me what you want. Who are you? You may address me as Mercurio, at your service. We're looking for an old friend of ours, an orc, 19 years old, goes by the name of Gobbert. Oh, and she ran away from you, did she? Ran all the way here to a little palace on the water? Have you seen her or haven't you? Insistent little thing, aren't you? No, I haven't seen your runaway friend, but if I do run into her, I'll tell her that you're looking. What do you do on the raft? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm an artist, or rather, I used to be, an artist and a socialite, and a man about town. By town I mean raft, of course. Now I mostly find myself shut away here, on the sinking ship's upper deck. I've been festering away here for months, desperately clinging to the finer things in life. Quite the tale of woe, really. So that's it? You just loiter around and socialise? A fine and noble profession. But you're a street-level operative, no? Blue-collar work. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Now, if that will be quite all, I will leave you to your business. You insulting little man. Okay, that's where we came in from. These scratches look like they were made by claws, but they're much bigger than anything that a devil rat could make. Another squatter, this one more beaten up than most. Bloody bandages wrap his knuckles, and one of his orbital sockets has been crushed, forming the silhouette of his face. Don't recognize you, that means you're new here. You picked a bad place to go sightseeing, outsider. I don't know, this place has its charms. Making jokes, stranger? Well, I'm not in a joking mood. Now tell me what you want so I can be on my way. What's your name? My name? Ivan. Ivan Fu. That all? Can I go? We're looking for a friend of ours, a female orc, about 19 years old, calls herself Gobbert. Haven't seen her, sorry. Tell me about the sinking ship. I want to hear your take on what's happening here. It's going to shit. Rats everywhere, people dying, smells like garbage scow. That satisfying your curiosity, outsider? Can you tell me any more? Look, I ain't the damn welcoming committee. I'm just a bloody old man who wants to get back to his squat. If you want to know anything more about the boat, ask somebody else. Okay, you're all pleasant. Everyone here is very friendly, very pleasant. I'm enjoying this immensely. A slender human woman in shabby overalls looks up from her work with a frown. Do I know you? What are you doing on this raft? We're looking for a friend of ours. She's an orc about 19 years, goes by the name of Gobbet. Gobbet? I haven't seen her for years. You've got the wrong raft. Now, unless there's anything else. What's your name? I'm nobody important. Just a worker trying to keep this thing afloat. Let's leave it at that, if you please. Have you had any close encounters with the devil rats? Yeah, don't go downstairs unless you absolutely have to. The lower decks are absolutely crawling with the things. Okay. Water drips down from a leak in the ceiling to splatter against the case of this ancient terminal. It's a miracle that the thing's still functional. A blinking green cursor awaits your input. Read the first message. We need to talk about these new regulations that you keep handing down. Look, I used to be a merchant marine. I get it. I know how important procedure is on a boat, and I know the mindsets that you're working against. But some of the new regs are bordering on draconian, and they're getting in the way of our maintenance crews downstairs. Order is a good thing, micromanaging isn't. So let's talk about it, okay? We've got a hell of an infestation going on in the lower levels, and we need to start doing something about it. Can I count on you and your boys to help me with this? I know that Em would frown on what I'm proposing, but she isn't doing anything to help. We need to take matters into our own hands before things get ugly. This was exactly what I was afraid of, see. Those bloody rats have eaten us out of house and home, and now the food supply is gone. They've decided to turn on us. It's pretty clear that Em can't or won't use her magic to fix this, so it's on us to deal with the fallout. I've had the upstairs maintenance crews set aside a couple of containers as a quarantine area sick room. It's inevitable that we're going to start seeing people getting sick, and we need a place to shelve them. If we don't do this, we're going to have a panic on our hands. Vitus deaths aren't pretty. Yes, tell your brother that I got his note, and that I'll be there. Who's this? From Anson to Yasmin. Tell your brother that I got his note and I'll be there. I don't know what all of this is about, but I have a guess, and if I'm right, well, I'm in. Things have to change around here for all of our sakes. I thought that was like a giant rat then. I forgot to read what that said. Oh well. The holes in the wall were caused by large caliber bullets, much bigger than you need for something the size of a devil rat. The squatter is in need of immediate medical attention. Her torso is a gory mess, and an ever-expanding pool at her feet tells you that she's on her way to bleeding out. Please help me. Calm yourself, I can heal you. The strange energies in your magic wash over her, erasing the hole in her abdomen. Gradually her eyes focus and the colour returns to her face. I don't know who you are, strangers, but you just saved my life. If I can ever return the favour, you let me know. We're looking for a friend of ours, a female orc about 19 years old. I'm afraid I haven't seen her. I haven't been able to focus on much since I took that bullet to the gut. Been fading in and out. Your friend is here. If your friend is here, then I hope she managed to avoid the welcoming committee. The two locals who we met topside, you mean? An elf and a dwarf? I don't trust them, and you shouldn't either. Don't know where their loyalties lie. We'll keep that in mind. Thanks for letting us know. Like I said, I owe you my life. Giving you a friendly warning is the least I can do. What's your name, friend? Maria Lamb. My friends call me Sparrow. Good to meet you, Sparrow. Better look for me that I met you. If I hadn't, I think that I'd have bled out by now. How did you get shot? I was part of the last mutiny attempt. Made it through that all right, but I guess that I also made some enemies. I don't know who shot me, but it's a fair bet that someone on this boat is holding a grudge. If you ever need anything, you know where to find me. Okay. Some tags, they seem relatively fresh. It's just up this way, through this door here. As you approach, something catches your eye, a vent in the wall behind the locals. Movement, something living must be hidden inside. More Devilettes. Panic-stricken, they turn, their weapons raised. There is a flurry of motion and something large explodes out the vent. Gobbet lands in a crouch, her weapons raised. Don't go in there, it's a trap. Patrick and Kara, I knew that you were going to betray me, but why do it so soon? I'm so sad. The bloody local tosses her gun aside and raises a pair of trembling hands. Her eyes have gone wide with terror. I'm sorry, we didn't want to do it. We didn't have a choice. It ordered us to. What it are you talking about? Explain yourself. I don't know what it is. It talks with Malvina's voice, but it isn't her. If you want to live, you have to do what it says. How much of a bastard do I want to be? I'm going to let you live. Don't make me regret it. The squatter collapses against the wall, sobbing uncontrollably. Gobbet dusts herself off and paces towards you. Hey, Seattle. I don't remember inviting you on this run, but I guess that I'm glad you could make it. You're welcome, by the way. You want to tell me what the hell's going on here, Gobbet? We just shot some locals, but don't worry, they were bad people. I'll take your word for it. What were you saying about a trap? Yeah, that's where they were leading you. I didn't want to see that happen, so I came riding to your rescue. You are, again, welcome. Gobbet, tell us what kind of trap you're talking about. The kind where you end up dead. Look, I don't know what exactly they were planning to do, but I've seen them lead people through those doors before. People who I watched go in there never came back out again. Not a one. They just scream and scream, and when the doors opened up again, they'd be gone. Thanks for the warning. Don't mention it. So now that we're all together, do you want to tell us why you came back here by yourself? We'd have gone with you, Gobbet. All that you had to do was tell us. Yeah, I know, but I figured that this one was on me, and I didn't want to wait another minute. Besides, I had a plan. You're on a boat full of hostiles by yourself in the dead of night being hunted by devil rats. That doesn't sound like a great plan. I didn't come back here to fight Seattle. This is a recon mission. I wanted to scope the place out, and it's easier to do that solo than it would have been dragging you two along. No offense. So you scoped the place out. Fine. Mission accomplished. Do you know what you're doing now? Yeah, this place is fucked. I'm going to sink it. Wait a second, what? The sinking ship is doomed, Seattle. I could feel that the second I set foot on board. Earlier than that, even. On some level, I think that I could feel it back home. That's why I couldn't stop thinking about the place. Whatever's happening to me here, it's wrong. The whole place feels off to me somehow, maybe even toxic. I came back to find my friends, Cadmus and Malvina, to check on them. Instead, I found a swarm of man-eating rats, a death trap, and a bunch of squatters who seem intent on killing me. So I'm going to kill them right back, and I'm going to use the scuttling charges that are still embedded in the hull to do that. I've already handled the ones on this level, but I haven't gone below yet. We need to activate the charges below the waterline if we're going to bring this sucker down. And so that's what you're heading next? Where you're heading next? Downwards? Not quite. On account of the trap, I don't know how to get past it yet. Minor setback, right? So my next step was to figure that out. We still haven't found Cadmus or Malvina. They could still be alive somewhere, maybe even on this level. Yeah, maybe. I hope so, because all of the people on this raft, Cad is the one I'd most trust to get us past whatever's in that room. He was always more of a mechanic than a shaman. We have to figure out how to get past the trap, I get that, but let's keep our eyes open while we're doing that. There could be more going on than you realise. I seriously doubt it. Remember what I told you about second guessing? He isn't second guessing anything. We haven't seen enough to make a decision yet. You may have, but we haven't. Alright, Iz. You want to look around? We'll do that, but afterwards we're arming the rest of those charges. All lower decks are off limits until further notice. Let me do a little save. Is it this door he's talking about, or is there a door over there? The air is thicker in here, acrid. The stench clings to your tongue, sticks in the back of your throat, smells like damp cardboard and stale urine. Well, that's foul. Don't go any further into the room, either of you. We don't know how to disarm the trap yet. I just want to take a look. The flooring here is a patchwork of metal that creaks beneath your feet. With each step you can feel it flex, struggling to accommodate your weight. Get back here, you idiot. The trap is still armed. The room stands empty in front of you. There's nothing stopping you from continuing onwards. So I'm guessing you fall through the floor, right? Load last save. I just wanted to see what happened. That's all. Right. Don't go in that door, basically. Ask some questions. Ask some very, very pointed questions. Starting with you. You don't have anything else to add? Gobbert, you're back. Hello, Yasmin. It's good to see you again. Yeah, you too. Where the hell have you been all these years? On a different boat, funny enough. Yas, I'm a little out of the loop on what's going on here. Could you do me a solid and fill us in? Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it, but I'll tell you what I know. Tell us what's been happening. Well, we're all struggling to deal with the devil rat infestation. You probably know about them. With all the rats around here, there aren't many volunteers for the maintenance crews anymore. It gets lonely out here. That's it. That's all I have to say. Yaz, you're talking to me here, so tell me what's going on. I can't help you if I don't know what's happening. Yasmin's eyes dart up and down the hall, scanning for anyone who might be coming. Her hands begin to shake. Yeah, alright. This raft is cursed. I think that I know what you're talking about. Yaz, I could feel it all the way back home. But tell me more. I want to hear it from you. Marvina isn't in charge here anymore. She's gone now. I think she may be dead, and whatever it is that's taken her place is horrible. I don't even know what it is, but it isn't human, and the worst part is, it talks over the intercom using her voice. Thanks, Yaz. That helps. Believe it or not, it helps. Be careful out there. Maybe we can do something with the terminal now? Nope. Right, there was a dude in here. Who was not very happy with me. I was just leaving. She says move along. This guy wanted to talk to Gobbet though, didn't he? The dwarf's milky eyes track you as you approach. A wave of recognition washes over his face, but his movements remain lethargic. Gobbet, back after all this time. Yeah, sorry it's taken so long. It's good to see you again, Cad. Gobbet's told me about you. How are you feeling? Perfect, thanks for asking. I mean, I'm dying, and my home has gone to shit, and we're probably gonna sink into the bay, but otherwise I'm great. Welcome home, girl. It's been a long time. Cadmus, save it. I'm not mad. I'm mostly just happy to hear your voice again. It's good to have a friend. Are you sick, Cadmus? Ill, I would say so. Deathly ill. Vitus is a real bitch. Even a neutered strain like this one can really knock you on your ass. You'll be okay, Cad. You're a dwarf and a shaman. Those 2 big points in your favour. You're gonna walk this off, you'll see. Spare me the pep talk. I'm too tired to walk. Cad. Save it. I know what my chances look like, and they ain't good. I've seen a lot of friends loaded into these cots, Gobbet. They all went out in garbage bags. Anyway, let's talk about something else, huh? All this doom and gloom is getting to me. Tell us what's happening here. Bad things. A lot of good people died. Something's gone rotten on this raft, Gobbet. You know what I mean? Toxic. Yeah, I can feel it too. I could feel it all the way back home. Cadmus, where are our friends? What happened to Yasmin and Anson and Well, we've just met Yasmin. Anson's dead. He never even made it to the sick room. Just disappeared. But I know where he went. Yasmin's still with us. Small favours, right? But the fight has gone out of her. She's content to do what she's told and tremble. Malvina ain't Malvina anymore. I was afraid of that. She just needed to hear... I just needed to hear you say it. She's gone toxic, hasn't she? She's gone toxic because of that damn bauble I gave her. It ain't her, Gobbet. It's something else. But yeah, that shiny red egg that you and Sui lifted is the cause of it, I think. The ugliness was already inside of her, but that thing brought it out. Shit. Cadmus, you said that Malvina isn't herself anymore, so what is she? You ever heard of a rat king? It's an old folklore thing. Bunch of rats all fused together, their tails all wrapped and twisted into a great big knot. That's what Mal has become. I don't know how many different spirits she's tied her essence to, but the last time I opened my third eye to get to her, I couldn't see where they ended and she began. What does that even mean? I've never even heard of... It means that she ain't human anymore, girl. Her aura is bound to other things, alien things, all tangled and twisted and grown together. They're all one being now, a rat king. It talks like Malvina, but it ain't her anymore. So this rat king is still human, physically speaking? Don't know. I've heard rumours that Malvina's meat body is changing too. Haven't seen it myself. Don't know if I want to. The talisman the rat king is holding, the shiny object, do you know how it works? No, I tried assessing it once. The only thing that I took away from the experience was a migraine. Felt like there were railroad spikes buried behind my eyes for days. All I can tell you for certain is that it still works. As long as the rat king is connected to that thing, you can't hurt it. Any holes you put in its body will close up on their own. So it's invincible. Wonderful. I didn't say that. It's the bauble that makes the rat king what it is, so you're just going to have to find a way to steal it. Gobbet managed to do that during Sui's rebellion. I'll bet she can do it again. Did you try to fight the rat king? Yeah, I'd had enough. A lot of us had, so we took a page from old Sui's book. We mutinied. This is what's left of our side. Been locked in here for 5 days now, waiting for Vitus to finish the job. The rest of us got fed to the rats. Doesn't seem to have gone very well. No, it didn't. Truth is, we weren't prepared for how many of those bastard rats Malvina had bred, and we weren't expecting our shipmates to fight on her behalf. Why would the others stop you from taking the ship back? That doesn't even make sense. Why do you think, girl? Fear. Fear of death. Fear of being gnawed apart by 100 vermin. Fear of that thing. You're saying the people here aren't brainwashed? They're just afraid? Scared shitless is a better way of putting it, and I can't blame them. If anything, we're the crazy ones for trying to fight that thing. If the Rat King's soldiers only serve it because they're afraid, then maybe we can turn them away from it. Could do. They might rally around someone they know. Maybe someone who lived here and fought for him years ago. That was a subtle hint, girl. I've got a better idea. We're going to get you and your people onto lifeboats, and we're sending this raft to the bottom of the bay, and the Rat King is going with it. You can't mean that. This is our home. We've got nowhere else to go, Gobbet. And I'm not going to let that thing force us to put this raft to the torch. You've already tried it your way. Look what happened. Maybe it's good that you leave this place. I've lived in a place like this before. I've seen what it can do to people. She grew up in the walled city, Cad. Then she knows what we've got to look forward to if you sink this raft, because we sure as hell can't afford to live anywhere else. Gobbet, listen. It isn't too late for the sinking ship. We can turn this thing around. My mutiny failed because the Rat King knew things we didn't. Yours can succeed if you'll try. My gut says that we should sink the raft. It said that from the moment I arrived here. That's what Rat wants me to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. Gobbet, Cadmus might be right. If we could drum up enough support, I think that we could retake the sinking ship. Have you forgotten the first lesson I taught you, Seattle? Always go with your gut, and my gut says... Spare us the lecture, Gobbet. Cadmus is right, and you're going off half-cocked again. The truth is, we can save this raft if you want to. You don't. If you don't, tell us and we'll sink it. Look, Gobbet, things have changed since you decided to sink this raft. You can see that, right? Alright, Cad. If you're sure that we can keep up your end, I'll be willing to help you with your mutiny. But if your people fuck it up, I'm going to sink this thing. Got it? Yeah, and thanks. With your help, we can do this. That remains to be seen. Go on, get moving, and convince as many people as you can to help us when the time comes. Whoever you don't bring around to our side is going to fight against us, so be thorough about it. And when you're ready for us to make our move, trigger the shipboard alarm system. 2 blasts, then we start kicking in doors. Alright, Cat. 2 blasts start the mutiny. But if we sound the alarm once and leave it, you get your people the hell off this raft. Got it? 1 blast means you're sinking the raft. You do that and I'm kicking your bony ass from here to Macau. But yeah, I hear you. You got all that, stranger? You know what you're supposed to do? We convince people to join you, then trigger the alarm. 1 blast means we're sinking the raft. 2 means the mutiny's on. Good, thanks. And Gobbit. Thanks. Does me good to know that you're with us on this. When did all this start? It must have been sometime after Gobbit left. No, not long. Maybe a week or so ago. We couldn't see it at the time, but it was happening. I'd stake my life on it. I don't get this. Everything was fine when I left the raft. I mean, the vibe here had changed, but Malvina was still Malvina. If anything, she was even stronger than the woman I'd known. Yeah, she got strong, alright. Strong and mean. It started small. A couple of months after Sui's mutiny, Malvina started proposing new rules. She said she was cracking down on infractions, keeping order to keep us safe, but over time, those rules started piling up, and gradually, the punishments started getting worse. Do you think the shiny object corrupted her somehow? No, I think that it gave her power and she corrupted herself. No judgment though. I think that in her place a lot of us would do the same. That's what I mean when I say that she had it in her all along. I think that she'd always been afraid, had always used rules to protect herself. The trinket took that fear and focused it like a lens. And that opened the door to what she'd become. He pauses, checks himself. I don't think that Malvina can even be described as she anymore. She, it, is really a they. Our friend is dead. Or changed so much that she might as well be. And the things that are wearing her skin don't belong in this world. There's a trapped room at the end of the hall. Know anything about that? Yeah, me and my crew built the thing. Let me guess, Malvina's orders? First thing she asked us to do after Sui's little rebellion. We started to work on the thing the week after you left. Yasmin was in charge of the project. Can you tell us how to get past it? No, but Yaz can. She should be somewhere on this level. Go find her and tell her I sent you. Thanks, Cad. We should go. Glad to have you on our side, stranger. When the time for the mutiny comes, you can count on me. Okay, that's easy. You back? Why? The Rat King has ruled here for long enough. We're taking it down and we could use your help. You'll get yourselves killed even talking like that. You'll get me killed with you. Get the hell out of here right now. I won't take part in another damned mutiny. Think. How does it help for the Rat King to stay in control? I warned you not to talk. Hey. What the fuck? You went and pissed me off, Lees. Well, that's one less person to deal with. If they decide that the mutiny is all a load of bollocks. What about this guy who's... You again. What do you need? Did the Rat King's people do that to you? No, I got caught in the crossfire. The mutineers did this to me. Thought I was with the Rat King. All that I wanted to do was get home. Instead, my right eye only sees double now. Can hardly use my hands. Thanks for asking. I know that you're hurting, but there are other ways to help than fighting. Oh, I can fight. Don't you worry about that. Might be best if I waited a week or two, but even in the state I'm in, I can hold my own. I used to be damn good with a blade. Paid a pretty penny to have one custom forged for me. That blade was a lovely thing, useful in and out of a fight. I always liked that. It wasn't just a weapon, it was a tool. What happened? Taken? Lost? I don't know. How about you, stranger? You handy with a blade? Damn, any idea where it went? No. And even if I did, you think I'd tell a stranger where to find it? That blade is my most prized possession. If anyone's going to find it, it's going to be me. We're taking this raft back from the Rat King, and we need all the help we can get. Can we count on you? You're all fools. The last 2 mutinies failed, and yours will too. Even if you did have a chance, it was Cadmus and his boys that did this to me. You think I'm going to cozy up with them? I'm sorry that they hurt you, but like you said, you got caught in the crossfire. People get hurt in those situations. It happens. Cadmus would never intentionally harm you. The Rat King, on the other hand. I said no. I'm not putting my neck out for anybody. I'm going to ride this thing out, and that's all there is to it. The Rat King could have you killed at a moment's notice, and it's only a matter of time before he does. Can't you see that? You hard of hearing? I said no, and that's final. I'm not laying down my life on the line for you, or Cadmus, or anyone else. Wake up. You're in a war zone. Not choosing a side won't keep you safe. It'll get you killed. You're right. I know that. I know it better than most. We can't just pick up and leave. Nobody can. The Rat King won't let us. Then we'll have to kill the fucking thing, won't we? You a killer girl? I do it for a living. We all do. Then maybe you've got a chance. To hell with it. I'm in. When you make your move, I'll do what I can. You've made the right decision. Go to Cadmus and wait for our signal. Good. You're going to help, definitely. We're going to take another run at the Rat King, and we're going to kill it this time. We could use your help. I want to help, I do, but I can't do much without supplies. I'll make you a deal. If you hook me up with some medical supplies, I'll join your mutiny. Okay. A deal's a deal, and I have a debt to repay. When you make your move on the Rat King, I'll be there to help. Good. I have a few things to take care of first, but I will. Right, this guy was useless, wasn't he? We're taking the sinking ship back from the Rat King. Will you help us? No, I'm afraid not. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I can see that you're a man who enjoys the finer things in life. You'll never have them as long as the Rat King's in control. You raise a valid point. Things have been going to hell recently. It's getting to the point where it's almost impossible to get my hands on a decent bottle of brandy. Even the Chilean stuff is hard to find. Are you going to fight for us or not? Yes, my dear, I think I will. After all, what is the purpose of life without luxury? When you make your move, I'll do what I can to assist you. Nice. And Yasmin. Gobbert, you're back. Cadmus said that you were in charge of building the trap at the end of the hall. Yeah, that was me. I didn't want to build the thing, but I did it to help Malvina, to keep us safe. I've regretted it ever since. We could really use your help, Yaz. We need to get to the below decks, and we need to do it in one piece. Can you help us get past the trap that you built? I think so. It's been a long time, but I remember what wires you'd need to snip to disarm the thing. There's a hidden access panel in the floor. You'd never find it if you didn't know where to look. You snip these wires, and this one here, bypass the circuit. Then flip this lever. Do that and you're done. The trapdoor won't trigger, and you won't get dumped into the killing pit. Killing pit? It's pretty much what you'd expect. Thanks, Yaz. You don't know how badly we need this thing. I can guess. Cadmus sent you to me after all. Best of luck. Thanks. Be careful out there. Okay, so I need to find Cadmus. I've already found Cadmus. Like, why isn't that? That's annoying. Where was I supposed to go to signal the alarm, though? To start the mutiny. I guess we just go to the lower decks. You would never find it if you didn't know where to look, besides the fact that it's a massive fucking machine. The air is thicker in here, accurate, the stench clings to your tongue, sticks in the back of your throat, smells like damp, blah blah blah. Gobbet surveys the room warily, her nose crinkly in disgust. She produces the napkin with Cadmus's instructions from her breast pocket and hands them to you. There you go, Seattle. You know what to do. Let's hope that Yaz knows her stuff. Following the grease pencil diagram, you locate a hunk of metal flooring with a slightly raised edge. Hooking your fingers under it, you reveal a hidden access panel. That's a good sign. The instructions are surprisingly easy to follow. Well, that was easy. Go on, Seattle. You take the lead. You've earned it. Don't mind if I do. Marvellous. Stepping into this room is like wading into the killing floor of a slaughterhouse. There isn't an inch of ground that isn't caked with spilled blood. The stench that floods into your nostrils is as overpowering as it is vile. It's the stench of rotten beef and stale vomit, of warm blood poured into a chemical toilet and left out in the sun to cook. The buzzing of flies in your ears helps bring you back to your senses. Blinking against the light, you see stacks of mouldering trash piled nearby to the ceiling. The piles of dead bodies are stacked nearly as high. Focus on the bodies. None of these people died cleanly, not a one. In one way or another, each carcass has been ripped apart. Some have been riddled with bullets, others have been sliced open with blades or shredded by chisel like teeth. The end result is always the same. Another fresh corpse, its eyes frozen open in agony and surprise. Gobbet's jaw drops open in horror. But Beatrice and... no, not Simon. Oh, rat. No, this... She grasps for a way to finish her thought. I'm sorry, Gobbet. I know these people were your friends. A lot of them were, some I didn't know. They all deserve better than this. The Rat King's supposed to be down on this level. That means we're headed in the right direction. After seeing this, I don't think that this raft is worth saving. We should go back to my original plan, Seattle. Let's send this thing to the bottom where it belongs. You can't do that, Gobbet. We've already told Cadmus that we're going to help him. He's been getting the other mutineers ready to fight, not to evacuate. If we sink this thing now, they might not even make it off the boat. We'll tell them we've changed our minds using the alarm system. They'll make it out, trust me. We made a promise, Gobbet. I think we should keep it. I think it's a stupid idea, Seattle, but if you really want to do this, then I'll help you get it done. At least this way, I'll get to look the Rat King in the eye when I kill it. Damn right. If we're going to do this, we need to find Malvina's old cabin. Should be west of here. I'll have to get the shiny object away from the Rat King if I want to kill it. That's probably going to be tricky. I don't think that she'll just let me saunter up and take it. You've stolen the shiny object twice already. Third time's the charm, right? Yeah, 3 makes the list. Alright, let's do this. Right. However, this mission is taking longer than I thought it would. So, I am probably going to call it a day there. Not really call it a day. Call it a morning, I guess. Get ready for my haircut. Get ready for my haircut, innit? I'll probably be back later unless I'm gaming with some friends, in which case I probably won't stream. But thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure as always. And I will catch you either later today or tomorrow. Which I would love to finish this game. I don't think it's going to happen this weekend. I would love to have it finished this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how long I can stream today and tomorrow. I feel like the time it's taking is because of talking in the quest hubs. And given that we've wrapped up a few people's missions and they're not really talking to us anymore, I think that's probably going to get quicker and quicker as we go through the missions going forward. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Anyway, I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.